What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. I was literally just about to probably go to sleep. I laid down. I was like, you know what? This week has been crazy. UFC 280 videos, UFC 280 streams. I literally said to my fiance, I need to take a week off of making YouTube videos. And then I said, you know what? I bet you there's a lot of people out there right now searching for streams because everyone, the initial rush of UFC 280 content has now ended, kind of. I know there'll still be post-fight content, but I'm just saying the initial rush of all those videos and live streams after the fact have all now ended. And everyone's chilling at like 11 o'clock at night, and they're like, damn, everything's done with. UFC 280's over. Normally, we would just start watching right this very second. And, it's 11:18, so we would maybe a half hour from the main event. And now we all don't know what to do with ourselves tonight. As you can see, I was laying down a little bit. Look at my hair right there. I was laying down for a bit. I was going to go to sleep, but then I said, you know what? I could discuss 280 a little bit more. I'm actually literally losing my voice. I'm literally losing my voice from talking so much this week on the channel. But yeah, we can talk UFC 280 results. We can talk Makhachev versus Volkanovski. We can talk the O'Malley robbery. One thing I want to plug real quick, because this was totally random. This was not planned at all. Some of you guys may not know unless you're in the members Discord. Let me just make sure this is. I actually went on another channel and did another stream after the UFC 280 stream. It was totally random. It was out of the blue. But if you guys want to check it out, I went on MMA Expert's YouTube channel for his post-fight live stream. And I think it's the last 40 minutes, last 30 minutes of the stream, I was on there. So if you guys want to go check that out after this stream, you can go check it out. Me talking on another channel. I also did that earlier today. If you guys enjoy it, let him know, comment, whatever, like it, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you guys enjoy it, maybe we'll do more of it in the future. I had fun. It was totally random. He hit me up last week. We talked about trying to do something before 280. It never came to fruition. I saw that he was live. I hit him up. I said, hey, I'll come on right this very second, and we could talk 280. So I went on there for about 30 minutes, 40 minutes. I linked the video in the chat. You can check it out after this stream. We're going to stream for a little bit until I lose my voice, basically. But we could talk about everything. We could talk about the Balama. I mean, I did a post-fight. I did a live watch-along. I don't know physically how I could do any more. But here I am. We talked in the Discord. I decided, you know what? There's probably a lot of people searching for something right now. So we'll talk about a bunch of different stuff. I know there'll be plenty of questions. I answered a lot of questions earlier. You guys, as I said last night, with a pause afterwards, I said, you guys are destroying my throat, okay? Just like Sean O'Malley is destroying some of his cult-like followers' throats because they're just deep-throating him nonstop and looking for every excuse in the book. But here we are. We'll see how long we can go. Like the stream as always. Subscribe to this channel as always. I would greatly appreciate it. Afterwards, go watch that video that I posted, the link I posted in the chat. Watch that stream I did with MMA Experts. Like the stream and everything, all that good stuff as well. What's up, Joey? What's going on? Homework. Didn't think you'd be back. I didn't think I'd be back. Literally, if you'd have asked me 15 if you would have asked me 15 minutes ago, would I be back? I would have said no. But I decided. It happened, man. UFC 280 happened. Okay? Yes, it did. I just rewatched Yan O'Malley. I don't think it was a robbery, but a close fight. I gave it to Yan barely, but close fights sent robberies. I rewatched the first round. I haven't rewatched the whole fight. It was, in my mind, it was clearly a robbery. I don't think, I got to rewatch the entire fight. There is no way you don't give Yan that first and second round. There's just no way. He won the majority of the rounds. People are looking too much in the statistics. But that's a fair opinion to have. Fair enough. I just disagree. I'm rewatching right now. Rewatching what? What's up, Niles? I appreciate you doing the stream for me. How about those fights, though? What was your favorite fight of the night? Probably Beneil Gamrot, to be honest. You aren't beat from the... I'm exhausted, actually. Joey, did you see that video about DC and the discount? DC doesn't believe that O'Malley won either. Okay? Guys can hop off O'Malley. Yeah, they definitely can. I rewatched the first round. I really can't believe anyone thinks I really don't believe anybody that's saying they thought O'Malley won actually thought he won before the judges' scorecards were read. I really don't believe that at all. I watched the stream with you on his channel. I appreciate you. I hope you enjoyed it. And you know what's funny? I don't think O'Malley's going to get a title shot. I thought he would in the lead up to this fight, but I don't think he will. The UFC is going to look at that matchup against Sterling and say, what can we do to get him out of this position? Bilal with the highlight of the card. Yeah, Sean knew he lost. So did Tim Welsh. You can see their reactions. You can see their corner reactions. You can see after the fight, you can see Sean sitting defeated in the chair. He knew he lost. Tim Welsh knew he lost. You can literally see them jumping like as if they won the lottery with the biggest shit-eating grins on their face in the background. I actually posted on my Instagram story. Is Fiziev the only one that has a chance against Islam? Yeah, and I'm not even sure he does. I'm really not even sure he does. Why didn't you guys listen to me when I said Islam was on another? I did. I said it was a 50-50 fight. I said whoever won it would be dominant. Islam pulled it off. It is what it is. This is the fight game. Anything can happen at any time. Islam is truly on another level. His wrestling is top notch for sure. Islam is going to be champion for a long time. If Charles didn't have much success, no one at 155 will. Yeah, but that ain't going to stop anybody from trying. A lot of attention is going to the decision rather than talking about how Sean did way better than most people thought, including me. Yeah, but I think the low expectation of Sean is now overhyping the performance of Sean. They're acting like this was a back and forth, grueling, crazy, massively competitive fight. Sean O'Malley had a couple moments. Again, maybe he was winning the fight for 2 minutes out of the entire 13 minutes. That's my take. You can go back and rewatch it and you can see it for yourself. So control and takedowns with no damage are irrelevant. So we are looking at damage. I don't know what control and takedowns with no damage you are talking about, because the takedowns that Yan got, first off, he got slams. Second off, he landed ground and pound every single time he took Sean O'Malley down. So I don't know what specifically you're talking about. You must be talking about a different fight. We're talking about, Bryce Mitchell was talking shit on the O'Malleys. There's not one fighter out there that thought O'Malley won that fight. I've not seen one fighter back O'Malley up. Prime TJ versus Prime Yan would have been an amazing fight. I know. How sad is it? Petr Yan's 1-3 in his last 4, and he arguably should be 4-0. That's actually really sad. Sterling being a clown gives fans a reason to dislike him. Fair enough. Regardless of the scorecard, what would you give Yan Sean fight out of 10? I mean, it was a solid fight. Yan won the majority of it. I literally think Yan won at the worst 13 minutes out of 15 minutes. So it was a fun fight. But again, if it was any other fighter than Sean O'Malley, people wouldn't be saying that. They'd be like, oh, it wasn't really super competitive. But because it was Sean O'Malley and everyone thought, okay, O'Malley has no chance, to even see him be remotely in the fight is now elevated like crazy. Like, this is a bad comparison because this fight was much more competitive. But you go back and you look at Jones versus Gustafsson. I thought Jones won the fight. I thought it was pretty clear, but it was a very competitive fight. I thought that fight was much more competitive than Sean. People elevated Alexander Gustafsson off of that loss. For me, I can't sit here and say, oh, O'Malley looked great. He lost 3 rounds, okay? He lost 3 rounds, in my opinion. Do I think that he proved more than what he had proved in the past? For sure. I think he belongs in the top 10. I think that is now proven. That was not proven before. He belongs in the top 10. Is he one of the best bantamweight fighters in the world? That still remains to be seen. Because I think Yan kind of smashed him. Hurt him badly, almost finished him, took him down with ease over and over again. Did O'Malley show good scrambles to get his way back to his feet? Yes, he did. There was a lot of questions answered about Sean O'Malley in this fight. There's no doubt about that. You cannot take it away from him. He's tough. He showed durability. He showed good scrambles. But that doesn't change the fact I thought he lost the majority of the fight. So, O'Malley should have a fight with Chito Vera again. That is my idea. That is my thoughts. I think that makes the most sense because for the UFC, I know a lot of people are going to say O'Malley gets a title shot next, okay? And theoretically, on paper, with a win over Petr Yan, O'Malley deserves a title shot. You know, forget about the scorecards, whatever. A win over Yan warrants a title shot. But if I'm the UFC, and this is, I know someone's going to think I'm trying to disrespect Sean O'Malley here. This is not me disrespecting Sean O'Malley. If I'm the UFC, if I'm Sean, if I'm Tim Welsh, and I'm looking at Aljamain Sterling, and I'm looking at Marlon Chito Vera, I think a much more winnable fight is the Marlon Chito Vera fight. Sean O'Malley definitely needs to work on his wrestling. Aljamain Sterling is going to take him down and beat him up. Would it still be a fun fight? Would it still be an interesting fight? Yes, it would. But the UFC and Sean has to know that's not a fight that is conducive to his style. So I think he'd much rather take the route of Chito, maybe get another year to improve on his wrestling defense and his takedown defense, and then potentially get a win over Chito and then get a title shot. And then maybe in the meantime, maybe Aljo loses. I would like to see Arman work his way back to the rematch for the title. That'd be a very interesting story. Jeez, holy shit. I've fallen way far behind. I'm sorry, guys. It is what it is. I'll get to what I can get to. Appreciate you guys for joining me. Don't forget to like this stream. I do these streams all the time. I've literally streamed for 7 hours. This will be like my 7th hour today, I believe. I don't remember. Does Islam have better striking than Khabib? It depends, man. Khabib's was predicated on pressure. Islam's is a little more technical. I don't think either one is particularly great. So I don't know. I got to think about that more. They're very different. I don't know if I would consider one better over the other. O'Malley versus Marlon makes the most sense for the title breaker. Merab just beat number 3 Aldo, and Corey just beat 10 ranked. Either Marlon versus Sean, title breaker, or Sean gets the shot. Yeah, I think you do Marlon versus Sean. You do Yan versus Merab. And you do Aljo versus Cejudo. Not a fan of all at Volk Islam. Not a fan at all of Volk Islam. Give it to Beneil. Yeah, Beneil's kind of getting left out in the cold, but Volk deserves it, and this is what he's calling for. Sarukian has a chance only now. Dariush kind of disappointed me. Dariush was impressive. How do you see Oliveira versus Dariush? I think Oliveira wins that, but it's a very competitive fight. Who has a better chance against O'Malley, Petr Yan in a rematch or Chito Vera in a rematch? I would definitely say Petr Yan. Petr Yan won this fight. It's undoubtedly he won this fight in my mind, so I would be very confident to pick Petr Yan again. Sterling is annoying AF. I'm not a big fan of Sterling either. Sterling, you know, he's had a lot of bad luck, to be quite honest. But yeah, I'm not particularly a big fan myself. And I understand that he can be found to be quite annoying for sure. Quite annoying for sure. And I think a lot of people find him that way. But it is what it is. I'm sure he will find his way maybe to earn some respect. Maybe he might never earn respect. If he goes out and starches, you know, Cejudo, he'll start to get some more respect, but there'll probably still be an excuse in people's minds of why he lost. Does the IFC have fights in Abu Dhabi to direct their own narrative? I have no idea. You're mad O'Malley beat his ass. All right. Yeah, acting like it was a war. I actually tweeted out. Let me pull up my last tweet. Because this really sums it up greatly. Sean O'Malley opened up one cut on Petr Yan in the final minutes of a fight he lost, and O'Malley dick riders are acting like he outclassed Yan for 25 minutes. Book the rematch. Let's book the rematch. Why not book the rematch? I'd be fine with that. solve my gripes. It was an inconclusive decision. And if Sean O'Malley would have been on the end of this, I'd have been campaigning for Sean too. I would have been disgusted. So it is what it is, but I would have campaigned for Sean O'Malley in this if he was robbed this way. Kind of annoying how people act like Petr is unbeatable, but he keeps losing. Petr is unbeatable at this point. He's 4-0 in his last 4. Do you believe Dana when he says Conor has to be out for 6 months, even though it's policy, when he's hoping never ever? Technically, he didn't explicitly say that. I mean, that's the headlines, but I actually watched the clip. He did not say that. She said, "Oh, so he has to be in the pool for 6 months," and he said yes. So Dana could twist it and say, "Well, he's been in the pool." You know, it was kind of a weird play on words, but Dana could still spin the narrative for sure. But also, the UFC can grant exemptions, which they did for Brock Lesnar while he was cheating. So, you know, they may do that again. And look what they did. Look what they did for Brock Lesnar. That's why Mark Hunt's suing him. Thoughts on Pimlet versus Gordon matchup? It's a slight step up, but it's a very winnable fight for Pimlet. I'm not super hyped for it. I'm not super impressed by it. O'Malley did surprise me. I think to give the shot to Vera and have Sean versus Merab. If you think for 1 second they are booking Sean O'Malley versus Merab, you're delusional. I mean, it would be funny, but he'd get wrecked. Control time doesn't have any points on the scorecard. Well, I never seen nothing but control time. I saw takedowns followed by ground and pound damage. So I don't know what specific. You must be talking about a different fight card, different fight. Yan getting all these city decisions on him. UFC better be paying him the big bucks. I agree. I know this is way jumping the gun. Do you think Islam could beat Marty Usman? Absolutely not. But by the time that would even come to fruition, Usman would be gone, I would think. Oliveira put on a terrible performance. He had a horrible game plan. He went and tried to wrestle Islam, which was stupid. I still think he's a lot better than he showed tonight. What say you? I agree. I think it was a terrible game plan. I talked about it on that MMA Experts post-fight live. I said, Charles initiated like all the grappling exchanges. For what? He was supposed to keep the distance. I still can't believe they gave O'Malley lost 13 minutes out of 15. It's crazy. I know. I really do. I know. How would you see Paddy Pimblett versus current day Tony? I don't know. It's hard to gauge where Tony's at considering he took his last fight on short notice and then 24 hours notice switch of opponents. So it's hard to say. And another thing about the O'Malley Yan fight, it should have been 5 rounds. How do you see Sean versus Chito for 3 rounds if they make that fight? I think it's going to be very fun. I think it's going to be competitive. I think Sean has a better chance of winning that fight than he does of beating Petr Yan. I favor Chito just because of the durability. But I think that fight has to be 5 rounds. I thought the O'Malley looked very good today. I think the decision hurts the perception of O'Malley's performance. Yan looked much better. Yeah, I think O'Malley only looked good because of the low expectations. But don't get me wrong, I agree with you. But it's only because of the super low expectations of the fight. Yeah, book Yan versus Sean in a 5-round main event. That's what I think. Good morning, Tommy. You're right, Gustafsson didn't prove to be as good as he was hyped up to be after the Jones fight. Exactly. Prison Mike says, like the stream, guys. Yeah, guys, if you could do me a favor and run up the likes on the stream, it'll get pushed out to more people. More people will find the channel. More people will post questions, all that good stuff. Do me a favor. It takes 1 second to like the stream. You scroll down. You hit the like button. It says we have 162 people in here right now. And we got 29 likes. What are you guys doing? Please like the stream. Also, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. I do these types of streams all the time. So if you're enjoying this right now, why not subscribe and come back for the future? Chito Vera was the only one to ever beat Sean from a leg kick and then brutal ground and pound. Best chance with him in the rematch? Best chance in a rematch with him? I don't know. I think Yan would beat O'Malley again. I'd pick Yan in a heartbeat. Yeah, you're right. O'Malley would not beat Vera in 5-round fight. No way. Yep. Even if O'Malley wins the early rounds, I was impressed with Sean, but he should not get a title shot off that. Yeah, he lost. Realistically, we won't see TJ until mid next year or late next year because of his injury, right? Yeah, we may not see him ever. We may not see him ever. TJ might be retired now. I consider him retired. I mean, litany of injuries, getting up there in age. It's hard to imagine a future for TJ Dillashaw at bantamweight. Chito knocked out O'Malley from a ground strike? Exactly. Hope we don't see TJ again. Yeah, I don't ever want to see him again either. Imagine how he didn't get the decision against Corey Sandhagen that he didn't deserve. He would have never won another fight after testing positive for EPO. Good luck dealing with Islam. Yep. Congrats to Islam. Great performance by Islam. People are going to diminish it and say he's a boring fighter. That's just ridiculous. That is flat out ridiculous. What's up, JJ Smoke? O'Malley said in the post-fight interview that fans want to see him be champ, so give the fans what they want. Does that mean he wants a title shot? I don't know. My guess is he's probably looking at Aljamain Sterling and saying, yeet. But we'll see. We'll see. What's funny is I would root for Sean O'Malley against Aljamain Sterling, but I don't think O'Malley would win. Islam fight played out as I thought. Only difference is Islam whooped him on the feet and did it faster than I thought he would on the ground. For me, what was disappointing is just the way Oliveira fought. Like, he kept, instead of trying to keep the distance, tag him with shots, keep the distance, tag him with shots. He initiated the clinch exchanges. He initiated the grappling. What are you doing? At one point, he just fell down like he was pulling guard. Do people still hate Aljo? Looks like man can't do any better? Yeah, I think so. It's funny because I thought Islam would control Charles easier and Charles would have more success on the feet. Crazy sport, huh? Yeah, it's a very crazy sport. So out of all those matchups you just made at bantamweight, what does Sandhagen get? So you do Sean versus Chito 2. You do Cejudo Aljo. What else did I say? Sean versus Chito 2. Cejudo Aldo. Yan versus Marab. And then Sandhagen's kind of left out in the dirt. I don't know. Is there somebody I'm forgetting? Is there somebody I'm forgetting right now? Who could you book Sandhagen against? Yeah, Sandhagen's kind of odd man out. Yeah, I mean, there's really, I guess you could do Sandhagen Dominic Cruz, which is a fight I always wanted to see. But Cruz is coming off a loss. So, they're the matchups, maybe. Volk beating Islam would be beyond great. Could you imagine? I don't think it's super likely that Volkanovski beats Islam Makhachev, but could you imagine? Was O'Malley Yan competitive? I think it was a dominant win for Yan, but there was flashes of brilliance from O'Malley. There was flashes of brilliance from O'Malley. Why does MMA Guru hate grapplers so much? Doesn't seem like he's an MMA fan. I have no idea. I didn't know that. Cejudo will take care of Sterling soon. I would pick Cejudo over Sterling, but I haven't had a good gauge on Sterling's fights. Nice to see you calm now. You're like two different people from earlier. What are you talking about? I was perfectly calm on my post fight. You talking about reactions for fights? I mean, the point of doing the live stream during the fights is to have reactions. Is it not? Volk is way too smart for Islam. Why I want to see Dariush before he gets older. Yeah, Dariush is kind of getting screwed a little bit. So it is what it is. It is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it. And as far as prediction Shark, there was a couple people saying, oh, this guy's so mad, this and that. I mean, honestly, are we all really actually getting mad? We're getting mad. I mean, it's disappointing. For sure, it's disappointing to see people who don't deserve to get wins because of incompetent judging, but it happens all the time, you know? I'm not going to lose sleep over it. It gives us more controversy to talk about, you know? It gives us more videos ideas to do. There's plenty to do after that, so. Islam versus Volk, Charles versus Beneil, Yair versus Emmett, Justin versus Fazeev. Let me see what this is. Okay, that's fine. Joe, you got crazy new fan. It's actually showing me 184 right now. 184 And still only 45 likes, guys. What's going on here? What's going on? I'm sorry. I'm trying to catch up to the chat. Connor says he wants to fight against Islam. He didn't really say that, but he's just tweeting out, chasing clout. Would Yan have finished him in a 5-rounder? Yes. The rank Joey went on after O'Malley won, and Marina main event announcement was tremendous. Dude, it was a smack in the face. How are they going to give us a robbery decision and then smack us in the face with that as a main event? I forgot about that, though. Islam versus Fiziev could be a good one. Yeah, that's my most anticipated lightweight fight right now. I'd rather see that than Volk, but Fiziev's still kind of one shot away. Hate to say it. Hope CCC comes back and cleans Aljo. I'd be very confident in a Cejudo victory, but I've been confident in Petr Yan's victories, and I've been confident in TJ Dillashaw victories. Not as much as Yan, though. But you get the point. Dana is such a weasel for saying Yan and Sean could have gone either way, but then said the judges got it wrong for Sean Sterling. Oh, for Yan Sterling? Well, you know why that is. It's all about the money. He doesn't really mean that. Is Sean O'Malley going to be ranked better than Petr Yan once the rankings dropped? He shouldn't. I forgot about Merab. He ragdoll Sugar unless Sugar catches him. Would still be a fun fight. Okay, this guy going. What's up, live feeding ASMR? Not sure why the whole card felt like a letdown. Congrats, Beneil Dariush. I think it just had such high expectations that it was never going to live up to those expectations. So that's why I don't think it's that bad. You're a Sean hater? Okay. Off my meds. Tony would be a good fight for Patty. Sadly, I don't even want to think about that. Holy crap, 150 watching. Let's effing go. Yeah, it's almost 200. Let's see if we can get to 200 in the stream, guys. We can get 200 people in the stream. Would Beneil do better on the ground against Islam than Charles? Maybe. I think Beneil's better like in scrambles and like transitional spaces. I think Oliveira has the jiu-jitsu advantage. So, yes and no. It would be like some give and take in different spots. Islam looked nervous in the walkout. Charles looked good until that punch. I actually think the right hand that dropped him like flash KO'd him because he didn't even try to defend. How long will you be live for? Your only source of entertainment MMA-wise for me is right now. I don't know. It depends how the stream goes. I'm trying to catch up to the chat, and I like to read the chat, but I'm falling. I'm so ridiculously far behind. I'm ridiculously far behind, and now I lost my spot because I just scrolled to the bottom. So I'm trying to catch up, guys. Bear with me as I try to catch up to the chat. Keep filling the chat with questions, and go subscribe right this second. Just tuned in. What do you think Sean won? I thought Sean definitely lost. O'Malley versus Sterling is next because Yan was #1 contender. I don't think O'Malley's going to want that fight, but maybe I'm wrong. I'm just speculating there. I think even though I thought the decision was egregious, the worst thing on the card was TJ coming in injured. I mean, that's really shit all over the card. We need a rematch Aljo versus healthy TJ. Never going to happen. TJ's like 75 at this point, constantly injured. He's never healthy. Just do Cejudo versus Sean. It's a win-win for O'Malley. He either beats another former champ, and if he loses, he doesn't lose that much stock, and do Aljo versus Chito. I know Aljo's probably happy because the worst matchup for him is Petr Yan. I think Aljo beats Chito. I think Aljo beats O'Malley. So, Aljo's your champion for a bit. Does Oliveira have a chance to ever get his belt back? I mean, of course there's a chance. I think it's highly unlikely. Time to book Sean in a fight night main event. That's what I would like to see. Or bare minimum a 5-round fight on pay-per-view. Are you more mad about Aljo Yan 2 result or O'Malley Yan result? I think they're both super disappointing, but the O'Malley Yan was more egregious. Like Aljo Yan, I don't think it's crazy to think that Aljo won. It all comes down to that first round, which was close, but I thought Yan took it. It is what it is. I mean, for me, what it is just, it doesn't even matter about the win or loss. It just kind of ruins the divisions a little bit. How do you feel about me after watching UFC 280, all the comments I made before? I still think you were dead wrong. I mean, okay, because it turned out that way doesn't mean on paper that it was that way. And also, it wasn't as bad as you're making it out to be. Do you think Oliveira will be the next Tony Ferguson as a gatekeeper? It's possible. Cruz versus Dillashaw, double retirement fight. What do you what do I think? I think that makes perfect sense. I think that makes perfect sense. Cruz versus Dillashaw double retirement. And I just sneezed my brain out. Sterling versus Sean. What do you think about that one? I think Sterling ragdolls him and beats him up badly. Is Sterling Woodley 2.0? No, I think he's better. Petr should have 4 title defenses, top 5 pound for pound, and GOAT at bantamweight. I know. Imagine, I said this in the Discord earlier. Imagine being 1-3, but you should probably be 4-0. Yan has had some super terrible bad luck. Chito Vera is the best nickname ever given by an opponent. Okay. Joe, you think the storyline between Khamzat Islam is brewing after shoving today? I have no idea what actually went down there. But maybe. I'm honestly okay with Sandhagen versus Cruz. Cruz looked good in his last fight despite the KO. That is very true. I've always dreamed about seeing Corey Sandhagen versus Sean O'Malley. Or not Sean O'Malley, I'm sorry. Corey Sandhagen versus Dominic Cruz. I was reading another question that said Sean O'Malley in it. 180 people in a stream is crazy. Yeah, the channel's still growing rapidly. And a lot of people have exhausted everything else UFC 280-wise. So here we are. Here we are talking about UFC 280. I'd like to get over 200 people. We got to about 195, so we were really close. But we might be able to get there. Umar versus Sandhagen. That'd be fun. 30-27 Yan. 3-0 Yan. Agreed and agreed. I hope no ladies was watching your live call when the O'Malley fight. You spoke words that were vulgar and atrocious, Joey. Truth be told. Okay. I didn't know we were that sensitive, my friend. I do believe Oliveira got outdone today, but on a different day, I think it would still be a 50-50 fight. Yeah. 200 people in the stream. Congrats. Very close. Is MMA Guru a virgin? I have no clue. I don't know why people are saying Volk is too small. The guy literally 210s at one. Okay, dude. I mean, look at him weigh in at 155. Darius should be showing up the front door of Dana's demanding a title shot, not saying he's going to fight anybody. I respect Beneil Dariush for what he said. So, you had a legitimately reaction to the robbery. People are so sensitive. I know. That's why I'm not worried about it. People are like just delusional. They're like, and they didn't even think Sean won before the scorecard was read. And then there's people pointing to the stats. I will never use the stats to support my argument, and they will never mean anything to me to disprove my argument because the stats are bullshit every single time. If Charles beats Beneil and he's back in the title picture, yes. It matters because people bet money. Yeah, that is unfortunate. I'd be pissed if I bet money on Yan. Imagine you had a big bet on Yan. I agree with bad judging for sure. We all have to deal with it. It's very upsetting. Dariush's takedown defense looked so good tonight. And his scrambles looked really good as well. What was up with Khamzat and Islam's team? I have no idea. That's been brewing for a while. Yeah, I saw Habib like acting like maybe he should jump out the cage. Tim Welsh looks like a mentally challenged Canelo Alvarez. Okay. If O'Malley Yan was 5-rounder, how massive cut the Yan had keep opening might cause him to lose? No, I don't think so. But it's possible. It's very possible. It's not a non-possibility, but I don't think it would have been. Does Bilal get the title shot post Edwards Kamaru Usman? He's right there. He's right on the cusp. But I don't know. We'll have to see how we'll have to, as Dana White would say, we'll have to see how this thing plays out. Now I got to scroll all the way down here. EM Baller, thank you for the $2 super chat. Great way to get your question read. That's why he called out Volk. I think it's too early to say that, man. Volk's a tough challenge as well. But I hope Islam Dariush eventually happens. I would actually prefer Islam Dariush. I think Volk's going to lose, but maybe I'm just underestimating him. But I wouldn't go as far as to say Islam is ducking Dariush. I think that's a bit bold to say when he had a fight scheduled against him recently. But I understand everyone's frustration that Dariush is arguably getting screwed. And it does suck. It really does suck. But maybe if Islam goes out there and puts on quick work on Volk, maybe Dariush could fight Islam, before the spring of next year. I think that's a possibility. So thank you, EM Baller, for the $2 super chat. I appreciate your donation, my friend. Now I got to figure out back where I was. Okay, here I was, I think. Merab and fun fights don't go hand in hand. Did you expect O'Malley to get finished? Yes, I did. Joey, that dude that almost beat Islam his first fight, I believe could beat him. You're referring to Arman Tsarukyan. Sugar getting the decision was a pure example of Dana White privilege. Dude was like, they really gave it to me. Guess I'll take it. Yeah, even Sean in his corner didn't think he won. I mean, it was clear as day. It was clear as day. And if you can't see that, I can't help you. Sean clearly thought he lost. Tim Welsh clearly thought they lost. And they got the decision. It was gifted to him. Charles actually didn't do too bad until that punch. That is true. He scrambled up at one point. That might be it for Charles. Now one of the contenders is going to champion. It's going to be hard to work your way back up in that division. There's nothing but killers. But if anyone can do it, it can be Charles. I'd like to see a Michael Chandler rematch at some point with Charles. I don't think it was Dana White privilege, just another strange judging. That is true. It's not Dana White privilege. It's just bad judging. Dana's not risking the legitimacy of his entire company for one fighter ever. Sean versus Aljo, not main event worthy. I would agree. This is crazy, Joey, because we both warned Charles not to underestimate Islam striking. I said it in every stream this week. Did I not say it was possible that Islam could even chin Charles in the first round? Because I knew Charles wasn't going to respect the hands of Islam. Were you more mad at O'Malley beating Yan or Dillashaw showing up with a prior injury if you had to rank it 1 and 2? Well, first of all, I wasn't particularly mad at either. I was just annoyed. Also, O'Malley didn't beat Yan. O'Malley got the decision over Yan. But I'm more mad at Dillashaw showing up with a prior injury. Definitely. Okay, what is this here? NKS, thank you for the $2 super chat. He says, for the college fund for the kid that will likely be. I appreciate you, my friend. I appreciate you. Thank you for the $2. And thank you for the mysterious message. I appreciate it very much. Thank you for your donation. All right, I'm scrolling way back up now. Yeah, guys, I'm trying to catch up, but I don't know. I don't know if I can ever. This has been actually a very popular stream right here, so I guess there's no one else right now streaming. Okay, that's old news. Where was that? What's up, Joey? Do you think Pimlet beats Gordon? Yes, I do. I do think Pimlet beats Gordon. I think it was just a safe fight for the UFC to give him. It's crazy how that illegal knee changed Jan's career. The butterfly effect. How a small little action can ripple out and affect the rest of your life in the future. It's crazy. He would have never fought Aljo again, let alone lose. That is weird. Fast, thank you for the 10 months of membership. Forgot to do this. 10 months is crazy, man, though. I know. I remember when you first became a member. Fast, thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for being a member. Thank you for being a moderator. I appreciate you very much. And thank you for the 10 months of membership message. If anybody else wants to become a member of the channel, the link is in the description. You get a loyalty badge next to your name, which basically guarantees your questions answered. You get to join the members Discord, which we're in there 24/7 discussing MMA. We got about 60 guys in there. You get extra live streams. You get custom emojis to use in the chat as well as the comments. And it's $3. You can cancel it at any time. The link is down in the description. As a massive TJ fan, showing up unable to compete was the dumbest shit ever. Agreed. Johnny Hendricks losing to GSP was a worse robbery than O'Malley fight. Your thoughts? I disagree. Card full of Sambo champs and people are shocked there was wrestling. Yeah, I don't get the narrative that Islam's boring, though. I'm tired of that narrative. I don't think Islam's boring. I think very few of Islam's fights have ever been boring, and I think that's a weird narrative. Personally, I feel Yan should stay number 1 and O'Malley can squeeze somewhere around 4. I would agree. Conor isn't fighting anytime soon. I guess he pulled himself out of USADA. If that ain't a big story tomorrow, I don't know what is. How is the MMA media not covering that? Give me an Islam Khamzat super fight, Joey. We'll see it maybe in a year or two. Angela Hill got robbed many fights in the past few years. Maybe so. Before you know it, Joe, you're going to have a 1K in the stream at once. We'll see. Was Zubara Takuov not due to fight yesterday, or am I wrong? You mean today? And yes, he had a weight cut issue. Why are people into Islam versus Khamzat? Because there's some type of beef back there between Khamzat and the team. For real, Yan luck is insane. He's still the most complete fighter at 135 to me. I still think Jan's the best 35er, despite losing 3 out of his last 4. I disagree. I believe Dariush will be Islam's hardest fight. His takedown defense was on point. I would love to see it. I don't know what you disagree about. Did the eye surgery mess up Oliveira's sight? Not that I know of. That's pure speculation. This channel's awesome. Thank you. Again, thank you, Ian Baller, for the super chat. Dariush might actually be the most underrated fighter in the UFC. Dude might do it great against Islam. Still favor Islam against anyone. Yeah, I would still favor Islam over Dariush. With Gamrot's ability to get him down, I think Islam would be able to get him down and actually control him. Sean lost the fight, truth be told, clearly. All the fighters thought Sugar lost. I mean, he did lose. I'm not even going to pretend like he won. He lost. When I talk about it in the future, I'm going to say when Yan beat him up. Because that's the truth. And people call me biased. People call me a crybaby, this and that. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a sport. You know, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. But I'm just gonna say what I think is to be fact. And well, it's not really fact, but I'm gonna give my personal opinion, and I'm gonna stick to that. Do you think Volk is too small for Islam? Yes. Joey Khamzat almost made Habib come out of retirement when deciding to jump the cage. Could you imagine? Who has a better chance against Islam, Dariush or Fiziev? I don't know. I would say Fiziev, but I'm very high on Fiziev. I think you could book Petr Yan versus Sean for a tie-breaking, seeing as he got robbed. I would like them to book that as a 5-round fight night main event. Bilal did great. He actually might be champ at 170 soon. It is possible. People underestimate Bilal all the time. My picks were terrible for this card. My picks were absolutely terrible for this card. Volk has pound-for-pound status and champion. Dariush has no hype. Yeah, I understand that Volk deserves it. That doesn't mean I can't feel for Dariush. Does Dustin Poirier have a chance against Islam? Very slim. Who is Islam's toughest fight on paper? Probably Fiziev. If I had to pick out one, probably Fiziev. Islam against Beneil and Alex against a 45er in Australia would be cool. I'd be all right with that. Were you at least impressed with Sean's chin? For sure. Definitely. There's a lot of takeaways. There's a lot of things you can say good about Sean. It's being overshadowed by the terrible decision, but there's a lot of good things you can say. So, let's see. EM Baller, thank you for the $2 super chat. O'Malley's a stud, but Aljo submits him easily. I 100% agree with that. Aljo gets him down first minute, gets on his back, and probably wins via first round rear naked choke. If not, he probably flattens him out and just TKOs him with ground and pound. Yeah, but O'Malley definitely proved that he belongs in the top 10. But I have a hard time believing he would beat Aljo. I have a very hard time he beats Aljo. So I 100% agree. Thank you for the $2 super chat, my friend. Okay, now where was I at? Makhachev has GOAT potential. That is true. That is true. Figured I'd pop in a lot for the Sean prediction. Toodles. Appreciate you. Islam against Beneil. Alex. Okay, read that. Read that. What am I looking at here? Let me see. Let me see. Oh my goodness. Okay. I don't think Dariush is getting screwed. He beat Tony 18 months ago. So yeah, it is. I mean, it's a debatable scenario, but it is unfortunate for him. I do feel for him. Guys, do me a favor. If you have not already, like the stream. I would greatly appreciate it. It helps grow the channel. And also, scroll down and subscribe to the channel. We are getting so close to 6,000 subscribers. I'm trying to get to 10,000 before the end of the year. It's a very lofty goal, but I'm trying my best to get there. So if you could do me a favor, scroll down, click subscribe. I do these live streams every single week, so you can join me for all of them. Which was more upsetting for BJJ? Islam submitting Charles or Yuri submitting Glover? Probably Islam submitting Charles. I swear if Volk beats Islam, I will be ecstatic. Yeah, I think a lot of people would like Volk over Islam. But I don't think that's very likely. Aljo looks like a miniature Deontay Wilder. I wouldn't go that far. If Islam beats Volk, is he pound for pound or not? Because Leon didn't get it when he beat Usman. Probably not, but he probably would get it. I swear if Volk loses, then Izzy is pound for pound king. That has serious potential. I like Dariush bold and true statement about not begging for anything would piss off Dana. Okay. Bro, is he losing his title next pay-per-view? We'll see. Straight up robbery. Thoughts on saying O'Malley deserves to win fight because Petr was fighting boring, trying to grapple with him instead of standing up. If that's accurate, I would disagree with it, but it is what it is. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. That's why I read your guys' opinions, even when I believe they are wrong. Fast in here with the emotes. Cejudo whoops Sugar. Yeah, I would pick Cejudo. A fight day without the Discord doesn't feel right. There you go. There you go. The Discord is just popping off. When I checked it after the stream, I had missed like 1,500 messages or something. I agree with you saying that Petr got robbed, but I don't think it was a flat-out 30-27. I think it was 29-28, round 2, round 3, Sean, and round 1 edges out Petr based on octagon control and aggression. I mean, I think Petr clearly won round 1. He landed the better shots, the harder shots. For some reason, people are under the false assumption that damage only means visible damage. No, you can also take into account, it's very subjective, but you can take into account when, Jan's snapping his head back on multiple punches in the third round. But yeah, either way, I think Yan definitely won rounds 1 and 2. 3 is debatable, but I scored it for Yan. Do you see Islam versus Oliveira 2 happening? No, I do not. Reyes got robbed, and he's back next pay-per-view in the prelims. That he is. But he also fought Yuri in between there. Nobody got sent to the Ghost Club today? Okay. Do you think Beneil stands a good chance against Islam? Do I think Beneil... I am more confident in... I was more confident in Oliveira beating Islam than I would be in Beneil. Let me put it that way. So I would give it I would say 70-30 for Islam beating Beneil. Conor beating any top guy would be surprising at this point. Imagine if they give Conor a title shot against Islam. Imagine what a big fight that would be. If I'm Dana, I would book it. Is Yan going on a losing streak because of his first loss, or is he getting washed? No, he's still one of the best in the world. Matchmaking 135, Sterling versus Cejudo, O'Malley versus Oliveira, Yan versus Merab. Sign me up. Favorite Islam, Dariush would be eaten alive? Maybe so, maybe so. I wish they would give Yan a rematch for the opportunity he gave Sugar and make it 5 rounds. I agree, Dom Data. I agree 100%. I agree 150%. Now I just lost my spot. It just jumped way down, way down. Keep the questions coming, guys. Keep the questions coming. I'm going to try to get to them. I'm trying to catch up. We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to discuss, even though I've already streamed. I've already streamed for like 100 million hours. I'm probably not going to stream much this week, honestly. But, I've said that before. But my throat, pause, you guys have destroyed my throat all week. Okay? I know some of you guys are having Sean O'Malley destroy your throats, but Angela Hill has never been robbed. Angela Hill just always losing close split decisions. I can't even think about that. I can't even put any more thought into that. I wish they would give Yan a rematch for an opportunity. Yeah, I already read that. Hopefully now this stops people from saying Khabib ducked Oliveira or every new guy can beat Khabib. I would have picked Khabib over Oliveira, and I should have took my own logic and said, okay, well, if I think that, Islam's going to beat him too. What's going on with UFC 282, and why is there no official main event? The UFC is hoping to put together Jones versus Stipe or Jones versus Ngannou. They must be working on it. They must be working on negotiations, but they're not sure if it's going to come together. So we may hear in a couple weeks that Yuri versus Glover 2 is the main event. I was 0-5 on the main card. You picked Chukagian? Chukagi, I mean, Man and Fury is the only main card fight I got correct to this week. Sean knew he lost. Look at his face on the stool, but no fighter will ever say that knockdown and damage his stock. In cricket, wool umpires did it, not me. Yeah, Sean knew he lost, and so did Tim Welsh, for sure. So I guess O'Malley's not frail anymore. I guess not in this fight. I got all the fights right other than TJ, which was dumb how he was cleared. Yeah, it was garbage. I'll tell you who beats Islam Shavkat at 170. Okay, well, that's not a fight that's going to happen. They're working on Colby Khamzat. No, they're not. That's bullshit. That's a bullshit clickbait story. I hate to break it to you, James. It's not real. You look handsome today with your nice haircut. Thank you very much. Joey, who against Bilal? If Colby Covington's going to stay in witness protection, I think you got to book Bilal Muhammad versus Khamzat Chimaev. Islam not going up to 170 for a couple years. Gilbert Burns lost $50K betting on Oliveira to win. That's unfortunate for him. Pound for pound is dumb anyway. They give it to Jones if he beat Francis. Very true. Who do you got for Cejudo versus Aljo? I'd pick Cejudo. I mean, Cejudo's definitely stuffing the takedowns, and Cejudo's got the better striking. But it'd be interesting. It would be very, very interesting. I mean, that's the fight to make right now. And that's actually a semi-big fight. That's a semi-big fight. I just realized. Hold on 1 second. Okay, never mind. What is this? Okay. Keep the questions coming, guys. Keep the questions coming. I just realized someone's posting. Oh, okay. Posting screenshots in the Discord. If Jones wins a heavyweight title fight, I think he's #1 pound for pound. He's never lost in UFC aside from Matt Hamill, which was a DQ, and it was a dumb DQ by damn Steve Mazzagatti. I would agree with you. Sean did more damage with the flying knee that cut him open, could lead to... Damage is so subjective. It's not just physically appearance damage, okay? That's not what damage means, okay? Damage can mean much more than just a cut on the face. So, it wasn't going to be a doctor stoppage. Yan had 6 minutes of octagon control with damage. How do they not factor that in more? I don't know. And there's people saying that he didn't land any ground and pound. He landed some hard ground and pound shots throughout the fight. It's not like he was just hanging on for dear life. People who were saying that are straight up delusional. What do you think of my UFC 283 card? Figgy Moreno 4, Val Nunes 3, Dos Anjos versus Barberena. Dos Anjos versus Barberena is already on December. Olives versus Gamrot and Munoz versus Simone. Sign me up for that. Beneil has better defensive wrestling than Charles. Okay, it skipped down again. Beneil has better defensive wrestling than Charles. That's his huge positive. Okay, fair enough. I mean, I'm interested in the Beneil fight for sure. Conor gets ragdolled by Islam. Yeah, for sure. I mean, think about it. There's some MMA fans that weren't even born the last time that Conor won a lightweight fight. For whatever reason, they gave Beneil 0 top sub-events on the stat sheet. Okay. I mean, some of them were never really super close, so maybe that's why. If Conor really wants to get back and be a contender, Conor versus Gamrot makes sense. They would never make that fight in a million years. Conor McGregor would never fight Mateusz Gamrot. Okay? Or Mateusz Gamrot, however you say it. O'Malley said he knew he won before he did another interview. That's hilarious. Beneil will not get through Oliveira. He will never get a title shot now. Allow Volk to take his contender spot. It is what it is. A big fight. I mean, Conor, Islam, not necessarily good. Yeah, Conor wouldn't deserve it for sure. The Weasel scored Jan's body kicks the same as O'Malley's jab, bouncing off Jan's forehead and still gave it Yan 2-1. That's crazy. Thoughts on Beneil versus Charles? I think that makes a lot of sense right now, and I would like it. What is started 2023? Brazil, Australia, and England. Yeah, that is crazy. The first 3 pay-per-views will be out of the country. I hope they don't do terrible times. Bilal will end up fighting Khamzat because Colby isn't taking that fight. Yeah, Colby's in witness protection. Colby doesn't want anything to do with Khamzat Chimaev. He is avoiding Khamzat Chimaev like the plague. He does not want that fight. I don't think he's ever taken it. I mean, I think the UFC is going to try to convince him to do it, but we will see. We will see. I don't think he's taking that fight though. He's not. I mean, He would have taken it by now. And Colby has been notorious. Colby has been notorious for ducking fights for a long time. He just doesn't want these fights. He just doesn't want these fights. It's unfortunate because Khamzat versus Colby is a banger of a fight. What's the newest best fight on paper? Maybe Khamzat Colby. That's a fight that I'm dying to see. Colby ain't ever gonna fight again. Yeah, he might just try to claim some type of money off Masvidal and call it a career. If Islam beats Fiziev, Chandler, Volkanovski, and Dariush, will he be lightweight GOAT? Yes. Man, I hate saying Aljo is on his second title defense. Yeah, that does feel weird. Great. Khamzat just smashes Bilal, right? That's a competitive fight. I would favor Khamzat, but it's a competitive fight. It needs to be 5 rounds. So many casuals sucked into Olive's last 3 wins versus Striker and washed up Ferguson. You act like that's a bad thing. Petr versus Merab should be made. I like it. Yeah, here's the issue with your take about Cejudo stuffing the takedowns versus Sterling. Sterling won every title on a fluke, so it's clearly going to continue. Yeah. Why is Colby still in witness picture protection? Still from the Masvidal incident? Yes. He is hiding. He's changed his identity. He's got a new ID and passport. Colby Covington has not been seen. He has not been sighted. He's in a safe house somewhere hiding from Khamzat Chimaev. If you think Bilal has a chance against Gilbert Burns, then he has a chance against Khamzat. Yeah, I think he has a chance against Khamzat. Witness protection. I know what you meant. I think I'm the original person that, I don't know if anyone else is saying that, but I think I was the first person to say that. I started that. Colby's in witness protection. I believe. I can't remember for sure. I've been saying it for so many months now. Why would Olives fight Gamrot when Gamrot got dominated by Beneil? That fight makes no sense. I guess because they're both coming off losses. That's why people would think that makes sense. You know, you could do it. I think you do Oliveira versus Beneil. I think you do Islam versus Volk. The winners then fight each other. And in the meantime, you do Fiziev versus Gaethje. If Islam and Oliveira win, you do Islam versus Fiziev afterwards. So what's going to be Shevchenko Santos 2 or Shevchenko Fuhrer? I hope it's Santos 2. The Fuhrer fight I do not want to see after her performance against Chookagian. So Bilal has a chance against anyone at 170. I agree 100%. He can beat anyone at 170. I mean, Bilal is vastly underrated. Guys, if you can do me a favor, go follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MMA Joey C. I just put it in the chat. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you could like the stream, if we get over 100 likes in the stream, we're at 70 likes. If we get over 100 likes in the stream, I will go 2 hours on this stream tonight. So like the stream, subscribe to the channel. If we get over 100 likes, I'll go for a 2-hour stream. I will go for a 2-hour stream. So there gives you an incentive to like the stream. Run up the likes. We're at 70 right now. Gamrot will be great in a few years. We'll have to see. His striking is going to have to evolve. His striking still leaves a lot to be desired. If Dariush finishes Oliveira, will he be able to finish Islam? If Dariush finishes Oliveira, will he be able to finish Islam? No, not necessarily. MMA math doesn't work like that. If Chimaev is fighting Bilal, make it in December. Colby can fight Chimaev in March. Okay. That's fine by me. I don't believe cage fighters are necessarily scared. Colby went 10 rounds with the champ. Who has he ducked? He's ducked Leon Edwards. He's ducked Tyron Woodley at certain points in time. He's ducked up plenty of fights. I don't think he's necessarily scared, but he's just looking out for his career, and he wants to try to get more manageable wins. Colby's done it time and time again. There's probably something that I'm not even thinking about. So there's been a lot. He turned down Leon Edwards. He's turning down Khamzat right now. There was issues with the Woodley fight for a while. So, is Sean a better striker than Yan? Absolutely not. When Colby hired that attorney, I figured he'd never fight again. Yeah, that's what it seems like. Conspiracy theory, Colby's in therapy for identity disorder, medically advised not to fight. Maybe. I can't believe the Sugar Show turned Yan into a wrestler. Yan has always grappled. in a lot of fights. So I don't know what you're talking about. He literally grappled in the Aljamain Sterling fight and took Aljamain Sterling down and controlled him. Yan versus Chito is the fight to make. Sign me up for that. Sign me up for that. Looking back on it now, do you think if Sean O'Malley would have continued the Pedro Munoz fight and the eye poke would have never happened, who would have won? It's impossible to say. You can't go off this performance or that performance and say it's impossible to say. Who wins? Khamzat Islam. Khamzat. He's got a massive size advantage. Even if it was at welterweight, it would still be a huge size advantage. Middleweights are up in the most boring division in the UFC. Brady got exposed. That he did. Bilal's a knockout artist now. That he is. Do you think the UFC should give Islam the same opponents that Khabib had to face? No. Gaethje, Poirier, no. They don't deserve any more title shots. They've already had two. I do not want to see Justin Gaethje or Dustin Poirier recycled for the title over and over and over again. Both Gaethje and Poirier fought Khabib for the title. Both Gaethje and Poirier fought Charles Oliveira for the title. They are 0-4 in title fights in the last 2 years or so. 3 years, whatever it may be. I don't know. Just because there's a new champion doesn't mean automatically now they get a third title shot. Absolutely, positively not. I have no desire. Gaethje would get sparked badly by Islam Makhachev. Dustin would get submitted by Islam Makhachev. Would the fights be mildly interesting? I'm sure they would be. But I don't want to see it. There's so many great up-and-coming fighters. I'd rather you give a damn title shot to Damir Ismagulov before you give it to either of those guys. Might as well let Khamzat fight the winner of Edwards-Usman 3. Yeah, okay, fine. But yeah, he's got to make weight at 170. Benny surprised me, not going to lie. The way Benny dropped Gamrot was brutal. I know that was nasty. I thought he knocked him out. Yeah, Gamrot has no striking. Yeah, he had no striking in the Arman fight either. Bilal's also juicing there a bunch of guys. Okay, well, I mean, that's highly speculative. Petr is so damn unlucky that it's true. Sean only outstrike Yan because he didn't even outstrike him. I don't even believe those stats, so I don't believe it. Do you think Sugar Sean is championship material? No, I do not. But maybe. Pretty sure Colby also ducked Burns. Yeah, I think at one point, yeah, Burns was begging for that fight. Did the massive sucker punch Colby cause brain damage, or is he just falsely claiming that? I can't speculate. I don't know. I haven't seen any information on that. Colby, Khamzat, Usman, Leon, and Bilal is all competitive fights. I agree. Pick names out of a hat. They are all very good fights. Yan versus Merab would be great. I agree. Yan wins that fight. Probably loses via controversial decision again, though. Who wins, Islam or Leon? Leon. Does Leon beat Khamzat because he beat Usman? Absolutely not. And I don't even think he beats Usman in a rematch. Islam is an absolute nightmare matchup for Volk. He's so strong. His grappling is the best in the division. Agreed 150%. Done with Dustin and Justin. I agree. I am done with Dustin and Justin as well. I am very done with Dustin and Justin. I mean, Bilal hasn't beaten top guys like Usman, Chimaev, Edwards, Covington. Until he does, you can't give him respect yet. Brady fought no one. Luque was on the decline. One. Yeah, I mean, you could pick apart anyone's resume like that. Bilal deserves some respect. Who wins a fight, Gaethje or Dariush? I'd pick Gaethje, but it'd be tough. Even if Khamzat is much bigger than Islam, I still think Islam could take him. Would be a good one. All right, that's a fair enough. Fair enough. Guys, let me know in the chat. I'm very curious. Where are you currently watching this stream from, or where are you from? Let me know in the chat. Be as specific or non-specific about your location. I would love to know. Where are you watching the stream from, or where are you from? One or the other. Chances of ever breaking down a YouTube boxing card. Negative 150%. Justin and Dustin are close to being out of top contenders. Yeah, hopefully they're gone soon. I think they're going to get replaced soon. Is there any chance Islam Charles is an immediate rematch? Absolutely not. What did you think of the Makhachev performance? I think we got to pump the brakes on him. Thought the card was a letdown compared to my expectations. If you don't mind me asking, Joey, how tall are you? I agree that it was a letdown based on expectations, but it was still a decent card. People are overreacting because of such high expectations. I am 6'3". That boy Joey back at it again. What's up? What's going on, my friend? I'm always here. I'm always here. And now I lost my spot. Okay, there we go. Islam beat Leon in sparring per Josh Thompson. Fuck Josh Thompson. I'd be interested in seeing our man rematch with a full camp. Me too. Since you're done with Justin and Poirier, should they just fight each other and winner goes against Fiziev? Poirier's fighting Chandler, so. Bilal deserves to be locked in the room with a Philly cheesesteak. That should have been a super chat right there, NKS. That'd have been a perfect super chat. When you come up with the funny shit, that's when you super chat it, okay? Sobro's in a bathtub right now. I want to see Conor against Justin Fiziev, Oliveira, and Islam. Conor ain't even fighting that many times, bro. You got way too much hopes for it. Charlotte, North Carolina, Iowa, Orlando, Cali, Carolinas, Toronto. I'm from New Jersey, Washington, D.C., California, Ohio, Miami, California. I didn't catch any of the fights because daddy duties. What was O'Malley versus Yan really like? It was basically mostly Yan beating the shit out of O'Malley. O'Malley having a couple moments. O'Malley almost getting finished in the second round. And O'Malley getting out grappled for the majority of the fight as well. And then O'Malley lands a nasty knee in the third round, cuts Yan up, and for some reason people think that won him the fight. There's an entire synopsis. Let me actually do a poll real quick. Did Petr Yan get robbed? Did he get robbed? Let me know, chat. And guys, keep the UFC 280 questions coming. Oliveira, Dariush is the fight to make. I agree. Ottawa from my bed in Suburban outside, in suburb outside of Buffalo. Dariush versus Gaethje. Or I don't know what that question means. Your reaction when O'Malley won the split decision was priceless. I almost punched the wall because I lost the bet. Yeah, I seen somebody sent the replay in Discord. I was laughing about it. It's pretty funny. Joey, Team Habib put on a clinic how to promote, won the belt, and immediately went for the pound-for-pound matchup. There you go. Yeah, I think it was good. Chandler is going to starch Dustin. I disagree. I favor Dariush against anyone besides Islam and maybe Fiziev. Send Conor to WWE. Send him away. Joey, thoughts on Islam versus Charles fight after some hours? Islam looked incredible. Charles had a questionable game plan. I feel like in a rematch, it could play out differently, but I definitely pick Islam Makhachev. Joe, you need a legit week of vacation. I don't remember exactly what time I got on here, but I'm just going to make up a relative time, okay? It's 12:25 right now. Roughly at 11:25, I literally laid down in bed, okay? And I told my fiance, I said, you know what? I am not doing shit. And I said, I need a week of vacation from making YouTube videos and doing streams, right? And then I laid there for like 2 minutes, and then I said, you know what? I bet you there's a lot of people searching for UFC 280 content right now, and I bet you there's not a lot of people like streaming or you know, most of the videos have been out, and you know, for a few hours, people have watched them and whatnot. I said, I bet you there's a lot of people looking for content. I said, you know what? I'm gonna go stream real quick, and sure enough, I mean, this is more viewed than my post fight right now because it was so oversaturated earlier with live streams and different, you know, videos and whatnot. The UFC 280 YouTube MMA atmosphere was so oversaturated. So I decided to jump on stream. We had almost 200 people in here at one point. I think the most people we had in here was 195. And that may be the most I've ever had in a stream. I can't remember. Which is pretty cool. Appreciate you guys very, very much. But yeah, what I am for this channel, I'm like addicted to growing the channel. Like, I really want to see the channel continue to grow. I really want to get 10,000 subscribers. Then next thing you know, I'm going to be on to 20,000 subscribers. Then next thing I'm going to be setting my sights on 50,000. And like, when I have a goal in my mind, I'm like, I got to do everything I physically can to achieve it. So that's why I'm here. But one of these days, I'm going to take a break for like a week. Because I've been nonstop since I started. I've been nonstop. I think I went on one vacation since I started this channel. And it was only like 2 or 3 days. And literally, but right before I got in the car to leave, I did a video. It's a Dominic Reyes video, I believe. Miami, Texas, facts. What's that? UFC doesn't want O'Malley to lose, for sure. Jorge fighting no longer interests me unless it's Conor. I think that's the fight that makes a lot of sense. Where are you? I'm in Maryland. Personally, I think Yan O'Malley was close, but have to give the decision Yan. But Uncle Dana needs a new cash cow. Yan clearly beat O'Malley. I wouldn't say he dominated him. Okay. The fight was in the afternoon. I think took some excitement away as opposed to the evening. Right now, we would just be getting the main event right now. If it was normal time. Just imagine Khabib versus Chimaev. How big would that be? Wish he would come back for one more fight. That'd be incredible. Better matchup, Gaethje versus Dariush or Gaethje versus Fiziev? Gaethje versus Fiziev. How soon they'll get around to the rematch? I don't think there will be a rematch. Are you happy now that there's no more Conor versus Oliveira talks for the title? Yes. And I know Conor's talking shit, tweeting out, talking shit kind of about Islam and stuff. Conor don't want that fight. Conor could beat Charles Oliveira. I don't see Conor having a shot in hell beating Islam Makhachev. Joey, we went from 5.58 subs to 5.61 in a matter of a day. What the F? That's crazy. I'm rooting for you. Yeah, let me take a look. Real quick. I think we've gained like 300 subscribers in the last week, which is really good for my channel. So let's see. It's just the end of the 22nd. I know it's technically 23rd, but as of, let's see, what's a week ago? 22nd will be the 15th. As of the 15th, I had 5,387. I now have 5,620 subscribers. So, you know what to do. You know what to do if you're not already. But yeah, that is crazy. Thanks for noticing. Thanks for paying attention to the channel. I appreciate it, Benji. I appreciate it very much. Do you respect Islam for not chasing that McGregor fight as champ contender? Yeah, I hope so. Face it, Joey, you love your online buddies. We all love the channel. Hey, I'm just happy you guys enjoy hanging out with me talking about MMA. It's crazy to me. Like, you guys would be like, if I didn't stream for like a week, you guys would be like, what the fuck? Where's this guy at? That's nuts to me. That is absolutely nuts to me. Jeez Louise. As far as championship reigns go, will we ever see another Oliveira? Probably not. We had 206 earlier. Did we? Are you sure? Oh, in this stream. Like earlier in this stream. Is that what you saw? Because sometimes afterwards, it'll tell me a higher number than I saw. Give the chat a like. Yeah, guys, like the chat. If we get over 100 likes on the chat, I'm going to go for 2 hours. So we're only a couple away. So if you want a 2-hour stream, like the chat. Khabib as a coach is so good. Normally he speaks in Russian, but instructions to Bilal were on point. Basically told him to go for it because he sensed Brady was getting fatigued due to the jet lag. Maybe so. You're going to have a nice 4 weeks off from December 17th to January 14th. You won't really stream that much then, right? I did last year when there was 3 weeks off. I still did stream a lot. Bilal been a fighter for years, and after one camp with Khabib, said it was his toughest camp ever. That says a lot. Send Joey to Martha's Vineyards. Okay. To me, Yan clearly won. This was definition of a robbery. I agree with you 100%. I think the way to grow is collab, reaching out to some other channels. When I start doing podcasts for my Substack newsletter, I can do one with you promoting your channel. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really do that stuff too much. I mentioned it earlier in the stream, and I'll post the link again if anybody wants to find it. I actually did a collab today. It was last minute. I had no idea I was doing it. But I went on MMA Experts channel. I'll post a link in the chat. It's the last like 30 minutes of it or so. It was last minute. I talked to him last week. I was supposed to do something with him. I ended up hitting him up today and going on his channel for a little bit. If you want to go watch it after this stream, go watch it after this stream. Make sure to like his channel, subscribe to his channel, comment, and tell him you want to see it again. I guess if you do want to see it again, don't lie unless you do. But I don't know. I'm not much into the collabs. I'm not much into reaching out to people in general. That's just not my style. But if the right people reach out, I'll do it. What could be the potential matchup for Caio Borralho? I haven't even thought that far about it after his performance. I don't think he should fight anyone ranked, though. I thought Sean clearly won rounds 1, 3, and based on damage, it came down to the first. Absolutely did not land bigger shots in the first. I've rewatched the first round. Absolutely not. Oh, was it obviously from start? Yes, TJ was injured within 10 seconds of the start of the fight. His shoulder popped out of socket, and it wasn't even anything. It was just him kind of doing nothing. Chimaev versus Khabib would do crazy numbers, maybe 1.5 million. It would be a huge pay-per-view. Did you watch any of the YouTube video analyzing statistics of all light, medium? No, I did not. I don't need to see another man's opinion to watch a fight, but it is what it is. And that's super subjective. That's literally just an opinion. That's not a definitive answer. People act like that's a definitive answer. 206 was the peak. Appreciate you. Appreciate you for letting me know, so bro. And thank you for being a member, so bro. I greatly appreciate it. I kind of disagree with the poster. Fights in the morning allowed me to really reflect on the card the entire day. Okay, fair enough. How would Islam versus McGregor go? It would go the same as Islam versus Charles Oliveira, but probably in the first round. Every time I'm laying in bed, ready to go to bed early, I see you're live, and I'm like, I'll sleep when I'm dead. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Did you screenshot me at 206? Send it in the Discord. Let me take a look, so bro. Send it in the Discord, my friend. I would like to see that. Send it in channel updates, I guess. Islam would take care of Mac faster than Khabib did. I agree. I'll be bored as F if you don't stream for a week. Your videos is what keep me locked in for my bets and predictions in general, so I won't be able to bet. It was going up fast, then dropped. Yeah, it always does that. I mean, it'll expand, and then as the time goes by, especially if it's getting late, I've noticed as it gets late and late and later, it just drops off because people are going to bed. If Khabib, hold on, do you think Islam will eventually have to move to welterweight? He's a huge lightweight. It's always possible. I don't know. If Khabib is 100%, how good is Islam compared to him? I mean, they're different fighters. I'll say Islam's 80%. Joey, I had it a close 30-27 Yan, but I like round 1 and 2, 3 weren't dominant. I think round 1 was pretty clear, though. Honestly thought it was 30-27 Yan right after the fight. Okay. Prohaska versus Yuri is announced. I think Yuri's going to be better. He has seen Glover has, which is an advantage. Yeah, I think Yuri wins the second fight. I think Yuri wins the second fight for sure. Appreciate the screenshot, so bro. That's pretty cool to see. TJ would make a great coach. Yeah, unless he's injecting your asshole with illicit drugs. Joey, how much of a shock would it upset if Volk beat Islam? It'd be huge. Where does Aljo rank among the all-time bantamweights? I have no idea. Was Charles too emotional? The entourage with him kind of backfire? I don't know, man. We're dissecting things that don't really matter there at that point. If Khabib is better than Islam, then will Conor last more than 3 rounds? No, I think Conor's worse at this period in time. I think Conor has regressed as well. Chimaev is a freestyle wrestler. Okay. Joe, your channel is in beast mode. Appreciate you. A good screenshot of your reaction to O'Malley. I appreciate it. I'm glad. I'm glad you enjoyed that. That's the point of those reactions, is to give you a good reaction. So I'm happy that you got a good screenshot of that. I'm happy you watched that. I mean, I appreciate it. It's actually pretty funny. Charles underestimated Islam's grappling. He pulled guard in the first round and allowed him top position. Yeah, I don't know what Charles was doing. He was initiating the grappling. It seemed like every time. Like, what was he doing there? I have no idea. Islam actually said he would move to welterweight after defending the belt 3 to 5 times. He's been very vocal about it. Yeah, we'll see. We will see if he actually does it or not. I'm very intrigued to see Islam. If he can string a couple wins together at lightweight and then move up to welterweight, I think it'd be very interesting. I think it'd be very, very interesting to see Islam at welterweight against some of those high-level grapplers at welterweight. Great to see that Islam's whole team and Khabib all believed in him to beat Oliveira. With the amount of killers he had to beat in a row, and Islam still won that, having faith in your fighter. That's very true. I think Charles underestimated Islam's striking. Islam rocked him pretty early on. Yes, I talked about it all the time. I've talked about that. Conor was not tested for a year, but isn't it on USADA to go and test him, not athletes calling USADA? Apparently, he removed himself from the testing pool. It's what's being alluded by Dana, but it's not 100% confirmed. I'm not buying 281. I don't want to watch Israel pitter-patter and tap his way to a snooze fest of a victory from 10 feet away. We'll see. We'll see. I hope that doesn't happen. I hope you're wrong about that. I'm really looking forward to 281. I hope it's good. I hope it's fun. I hope, there's a good main event. But you never know. You never know. You never know. But a lot of people think Alex Pereira is the guy to beat Izzy. A lot of people did. But a lot of people thought Charles was going to beat Islam. So you never know what might actually happen. Joey, TJ not telling anyone that he was dealing with a serious injury. In your eyes, is very sneaky, selfish move. Joey, your thought? I mean, I think it's just a shit move in general. It robs the fans of a fight of two healthy fighters. Like, chances of success were basically non-existent. So what was the point other than the paycheck? Islam versus Khamzat would be good, but I think Khamzat's just way bigger and would be superior. I agree 100%. I agree 100%. Would he deserve an immediate title shot if he defends the belt like 3 to 5 times? Yes. Who do you got in Islam Volk? I would take Islam Makhachev. I think he would just be too big, too strong for Volkanovski. He would take him down and eventually. I think it would submit Volk. Habib told Charles that the trash talk was all for promotional purposes. Oh, for sure. For sure. Joey, should Abdul Manap be put in the Hall of Fame? I don't care one way or another, honestly. Doesn't matter. I don't think it matters. The Hall of Fame is just whatever the UFC wants it to be. So they could do it for glamour reasons, but I guess as a coach, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how that would work. I haven't really ever thought about that. What are the chances that Izzy and Pereira are going to have a kickboxing match in the middle of the octagon because they are both in their main backgrounds? I think that's how the fight goes. I think it's going to be a quick kickboxing match. I think Izzy and Pereira are going to just kick back and forth from range. It's about how much pressure does Pereira put on him, and does Pereira look to take his head off? And how often does he look to take his head off? And how successful is he with his shots? It's going to be very interesting. Everything was off about Charles. It started when he was hugging everyone, then he was walking out. I mean, he does that shit all the time, so I don't know how you can say that was off. I just don't want to see Izzy rematch, so almost hope he wins now. I don't know. I don't know what I want out of that fight. I don't know what I want out of that fight. Volk could get out Islam's takedowns with his midget legs and tiny neck. Maybe. I think Islam's too big for him. I think Islam's gonna ragdoll Makhachev. So you don't care about the Hall of Fame? I absolutely could not give a shit less about the UFC Hall of Fame ever. Don't care. Never thought about it in my entire life. Never will think about it other than when someone asks me a question about it. It's irrelevant. Alex Pereira has weight to lay on top of Izzy. Izzy tries to explode, will gas too much. Yeah, but is he going to get him down? Izzy has good takedown defense. Pereira doesn't have the greatest of wrestling, takedowns, all that good stuff. So I don't think that's super likely. But he is training with Glover, so you are right about that. Joey, is it likely Dana White pays the judges? No. Nope. No way. He's not going to risk the legitimacy of his business to get a guy that he deems the potential to be a superstar to win a fight. It's just not going to happen. Did I say Islam's going to ragdoll Makhachev? I meant Islam's going to ragdoll Volkanovski. Your reaction if Chandler starts to demand a title shot if he beats Dustin? I'm just going to laugh. I mean, what a joke that would be. Another great fight would be Khamzat Whitaker. We're getting Whitaker versus Costa. But yeah, Khamzat Whitaker would be fun. Would be a lot of fun. Bilal Muhammad looked incredible on the feet. First time I've seen him throw heat. He looks very good. He looks very good. Turned back a guy in Sean Brady. I think Pereira knows how to beat Izzy in kickboxing. That's why I'm curious to see if Izzy's going to switch it up. I doubt it. I doubt it. Bilal needs to be in number one contenders fight. Like, he shouldn't be fighting down the rankings. I agree. His next fight, Bilal Muhammad's next fight, should be a number one contender fight. I don't know who it's going to be. I wouldn't mind Bilal versus Khamzat, but I want Khamzat versus Colby. So who does that leave for Bilal? Bilal versus Gilbert Burns, I think, is the fight to make. But if Colby's going to stay in witness protection, I think you do Bilal versus Khamzat Chimaev. And then Burns can go fight Jorge Masvidal in Brazil or whatever he's talking about recently. But I mean, there's a lot of fun matchups. I don't know what we'll end up getting because it seems like in the welterweight division, nobody ever wants to fight each other. But hopefully we get something good. Bilal, okay. Yeah, Bilal versus Khamzat's the fight to make. Petr Yan is still the champion. He's 4-0 his last 4. Sterling has 1 belts off illegal knees and 1 arm fighters. Yeah, in my mind, Yan's still the champ. He's still defending the championship. Guys, do me a favor if you have not already, like this stream. Click the thumbs up button. It takes 1 second. It takes 1 second. It helps the channel. We are almost to 100 likes, but we'll see how much longer we go. And also, again, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. You guys want to be one of the first 6,000 or what? Who wins, Bilal or Khamzat, in your opinion? I would go Khamzat over Bilal, but it'd be very interesting because Bilal's durable. Bilal has good wrestling, but I think Khamzat would be too much for him. I think he would come out, probably take Bilal down, and Bilal would try to scramble back to his feet. I think he'd get him down again. I think Khamzat would win the fight. I think he has more power. I think the striking exchanges would be interesting, but I think Khamzat would be able to out-grapple him. I'm the only one that thinks that knows Bilal gets mopped inside 3 minutes versus Chimaev, maybe. It's going to be either Khamzat, Colby, and Colby don't want it, Bilal, Khamzat. Yeah. Colby's in witness protection, hiding for his life. Joey, how do you think Anderson? I have no idea. I have not even thought about it. I don't support the YouTube boxing atmosphere, so I don't know. I haven't put 1 ounce of energy into thinking about it. I'm sorry, my friend. I'm really sorry. If Khamzat can make 170 next time around, ban him from the division. That's probably what's going to happen. That's probably what's going to happen. Bilal will get his ass handed to him by Khamzat, but it's still the fight to make. I mean, I don't know for 100% certainty, but I'd like to see it. Petr Yan got big time robbed. I agree 100%. Definitely getting O'Malley Project vibes. I don't know what that means. Do you think any MMA fighters losing to YouTubers make the UFC look bad? It definitely makes the UFC look bad. 127 people in here, 86 likes. Come on, guys. For me, it shows me 142 and 90 likes right now, guys. And I know everyone's not subscribed. I want to get to 6,000 before the end of this week, as in next weekend, because it's technically Sunday where I'm at right now. I don't think the UFC planned this. I think Khabib quickly called out Volk so Islam can get pound for pound with smaller guys. I don't know, man. I'm not thinking too much into it. But I think Islam, if he beats Volk, he's still going to fight top contenders. Anyway. Islam will be the first fighter to become pound for pound after 2 title fights. He wouldn't be pound for pound. Can blocked account subscribe? If they're blocked, I don't want them to subscribe, and I don't want any fake subscribers, dude. What did you get blocked before, MMA Lawn Care? What did you do to get blocked? Let me know. Let me know what you get blocked for. Islam is on a 10-fight win streak. Not 2. Yeah, but they were saying he would get, his only 2 wins, solid wins, would be Oliveira and Volk. James. Bilal is an elite knockout artist. That's why. Lol. Shavkat is a tougher matchup for Bilal than Khamzat, in my opinion. I just don't see how he beats Shavkat. I mean, I'm dying to see Khamzat Shavkat one day. I said this earlier this week. I think they wanted Volk versus Oliveira, not Volk versus Islam. That 20% signature strike accuracy is insane. Who are we talking about? Khamzat versus Bilal or Colby Bilal if Colby doesn't want to take it. Tyron Woodley and Stephen Thompson. Okay, I don't care about that. Shavkat's still riding under the radar for some reason. Why this guy still didn't fight a top guy? He's fighting Jeff Neal. Joe, your thoughts on the 17-year-old that he signed a month ago? I mean, it's interesting, but I don't know what he's going to be able to do in the division. We'll see. Bilal versus Chimaev is the fight to make because they both deserve #1 contender fights over Colby. Yeah, I don't want to see Colby fight for a title anytime soon without beating a top contender. If Islam beats Volk, where does he go on the pound-for-pound list? I don't know, and I don't care, to be honest. I'm sorry, so bro. I don't think about the pound. I don't spend my time thinking about the pound-for-pound list. O'Malley won that fight outstruck? Absolutely not. He did not do more damage, and he did not outstrike him. Just because you saw stats say that doesn't mean it's true. It's sad that people forgot what Charles did and now calling him a quitter. I mean, that's what submissions are. People are constantly saying that dumb shit. Shavkat better stay away from Gilbert Burns. I think that'd be a tough style matchup for him. I think he'd win it. But I get what you're saying. Shavkat is fighting Jeff Neal. He has a fight. He has a fight. He has a fight. He has a fight. MMA Post Daily. Why do you send the same message 3 times before it's even gets a chance to be read? It's unnecessary. It's that okay, read that. Bilal with the insane 20%. Okay, yeah. Bilal looked good in the striking department tonight. Or this afternoon. Got to see Shavkat wrestling defense before fighting Khamzat, honestly. Me and you agree on everything else, so it's cool, homie. What are you talking about? I know you probably don't see Islam as pound for pound, but defeat Oliveira pound for pound. They would market this fight as Volk #1 pound. And yeah, it doesn't matter. Bilal doesn't beat any of the top 5, in my opinion. I've been a bad gauge of Bilal. So I can't say. I've been picking against Bilal for a while. I picked him against Wonderboy. I picked against him against Wonderboy. I picked against him against Vicente. I picked against him against Sean Brady. And Bilal was my early prediction. And I got swayed over to Sean Brady after watching some tape. So super unfortunate. Bilal doesn't beat any... Okay, Islam doesn't get hit and has the best ground game on the planet. That's a great combination to have. That is very true. But sometimes he's sloppy in the exchanges, and I could see him getting clipped and slept. Is the pound for pound list accurate, though? I don't even look at it, so I can't tell you. Islam would become pound for pound. It's hilarious. How smart Habib is to get Volk inside the cage because Ali probably won his fight in a title shot. Benny versus Oliveira. Yan had a cut on his face and people were acting like he was leaking blood everywhere. I know he had a cut from 1 strike and they acted like he got outclassed. I'd rather see Cejudo come back and fight Aljo because I don't see O'Malley making it out of the first with Aljo. I agree. You know, O'Malley's not beating Aljo. It's not happening. Shavkat is somewhat chinny. He has supreme defense to stop the strikes. But he almost got slept with overhand slip through. Okay. I mean, Shavkat is a guy that's going to make waves in the future of the division for sure. How much waves is he going to make? That remains to be seen. But I am very, very, very high on... let me just make sure this is... I am very, very high on Shavkat. Okay. Keep the questions coming, guys. We'll see how long we can go tonight. I underestimate Bilal constantly. Yeah, I have too. I just talked about it. I have too. Yan was leaking blood everywhere. It was legit cover the canvas. He had 1 cut, dude. Okay, it bled a lot. That's literally irrelevant. The amount of blood is irrelevant. He had 1 cut from 1 strike, and people are acting like he looked like, you know, absolutely destroyed. He had 1 cut. A nasty cut at that, but it was just 1 cut. Lesson learned, don't bring up... Yep, I do hate those subjects. It's nothing against you guys. I like to answer all the questions possible. But it's one of those things where it's just something I'm not interested in. Hold on 1 second. It's funny you guys start to know exactly I don't ever talk about YouTube boxing ever, and I never have. Who would you put in your top 5 pound for pound list? Just clowning? I know. You picked Oliveira, Gamrot, Brady, and Yan this week. Just curious, we all get it wrong. Yes, I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not ashamed of my picks. I mean, we're watching fist fighting. There's nobody picking with 100% accuracy. The people who clown picks are like people who don't make picks. Hold on 1 second. The people who are clowning picks are never putting out their picks. That's not happening. So they just clown other people's picks. It is what it is. I'm not ashamed of any picks. I'll never stray away from any picks, and I like to talk about where I went wrong. Imagine O'Malley gets a title shot against Aljo, and Aljo breaks his ankle within the first minute, tripping Sean. That would be terrible. I wouldn't want to see him get a serious injury. Sugar could catch Aljo on the feet and stop him, not out of the question, but very unlikely, I believe. Y'all do know the judging criteria damage fights and round by round. Yeah, we do know, and that's why Petr Yan should have won the fight. Petr Yan did much more damage, so I'm glad you know the scoring criteria. I like how Alex. Oh, never mind. Sean versus Chito rematch for the title shot is the fight to make. Okay, I'm down with that. We can all agree on that. What was the best thing you saw from O'Malley? Probably his durability. He showed amazing durability. If control time doesn't matter, then Yan beat Sterling in the second fight. Yeah, there you go. Win or lose, Charles Oliveira is the most well-dressed fighter? Maybe. Chito versus Yan would be a good scrap. Battle of stronger will. Both got power and good defense. I want to see Chito versus Sean too, though. Hey, Joe, I'm a big fan from Miami. Do you think Islam can beat Leon Edwards at 170? Probably not. I think Leon would beat him up on the feet and be able to stuff the takedowns. Yan, best striker in the UFC? Yeah, maybe so. Leon, best chance to get a title defense is by fighting Bilal, because if he rematches Usman, he's going to lose. Yeah, but he's fighting Usman next. He's fighting Usman next for sure. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Even though Yan won, Sugar showed he belonged, needs to work on the ground game more. I think that's a fair assessment. O'Malley only got his one loss in his whole career because Chito Vera brutally chopped his legs and then flash KO'd him with ground and pound elbows, and then he was stretchered out of the cage with no serious injuries. Yeah, I agree, Jackson. The Leech and Piotr got to go get a drink. I mean, Piotr was much more egregious of a robbery, in my opinion. Could we subjectively pick people from the same culture, because I feel like every American picked Brady and Oliveira? I know Oliveira is from Brazil, while the other side of the world picked Islam and Bilal. I mean, it's definitely possible, but in my case, I did not pick because of that. But you never know. Subconsciously, maybe. Nah, best striker in the UFC is Bullet or Izzy or Volk. Okay. I'm not tuning in to weighing in tomorrow. Will not be able to stand Josh Thompson, be insufferable. Yeah, and pretend like he knows everything. People are making it like Jan's face looked like Lineker from the one night before. Yeah. It was a cut. It was a cut. It is what it is. It happens all the time. Joe, who do you think wins between Khamzat and Colby? I believe Khamzat would brutalize Colby in the striking department. So I would take Khamzat Chimaev probably by TKO. Bilal versus Shavkat. Shavkat is fighting Jeff Neal, but I'd like to see Bilal versus Shavkat. Sean seems off after his win. Seemed like he's reconsidering fighting. Probably because he took a lot of damage and he thought he lost. So, are Judo and No-Gi BJJ good stand-up? I have no idea. No clue on that one. Pereira maybe up there for best striker too. Yeah. Is Jones still rolling with Greg Jackson? No. The same people who thought Islam would lose felt that Sean O'Malley would win. Never understood the logic. The people who picked Sean O'Malley just picked him because they liked him. They didn't pick him for any other reason. There was no evidence to support Petr Yan would lose. Are you claiming that Sean was robbed because round 1 was so clearly Jan's? Round 2 was Jan's, and round 3 was Sean's, closer but clear in my opinion, if you agree. Am I claiming that Sean was robbed? No, Yan clearly won. I scored all 3 rounds for Yan. So there you go. I don't know what you tuned in on. I don't know what you tuned in on, but you got me all wrong. You got me all wrong, my friend. I did not score the fight for O'Malley. I mean, that's delusional, if you ask me. It is delusional. Let me see if I got any hidden comments. That YouTube flags some comments sometimes. After, when just people crazy. Yeah, there's one, but that's it. That's not even funny. Everyone telling Sugar he wasn't going to get a win got him hyped to win. He got to throw hate on Alex Pereira now. So he wins. Okay. Thoughts on Islam versus Khamzat? Sign me up for that one. I would love to see Islam versus Khamzat. but it's never going to happen. I was waiting for your post-fight video. I know why you didn't do it. You even changed your shirt. Yan got robbed. Weasel have a play-by-play video. What are you talking about? I don't even know what you're talking about. I did do a post-fight, Muhammad. I think you were in there. I'm doing now a second post-fight. So I don't know what you're talking about. And this is the same shirt I've been wearing all day. So I don't know what you mean. Beneil, the one guy that might have a chance to beat Islam after rewatching that Gamrot fight, his takedown defense, elite. Yeah, but if Gamrot can get you down a couple times, even though he scrambled out of him and didn't cement the position, Makhachev can probably get you down a couple times. Yan and Sugar both have a chin. That knee that cut Yan took have taken someone out. Maybe so. But they both showed good chins. All 3 rounds were Yan. Agree. Oliveira still fighting in Brazil. Beneil should call him out. Fiziev call out Oliveira in January. I'd like to see Oliveira fight in Brazil. He deserves it. Can we talk about how the 135 scam of the division matchmaking when Dana suggested Henry could be next? I wanted to legit throw my laptop. I think Cejudo makes the most sense though. If O'Malley somehow dominated the whole fight and Petr Yan got the decision, would you still be saying it's unfair? No, I would 100% be screaming from the rooftops that O'Malley should have got the win. I'd be screaming from the rooftops O'Malley should have got the win. If I genuinely thought O'Malley won, I would be screaming robbery. So I just say what I think. It has nothing to do with biased. Okay? Again, everyone has some type of subconscious bias that you can't help. But when I make my decisions based on what I've seen, it's not anything to do with Huso. They could be faceless fighters for all I care. I'm just saying what I saw. Halloween next week. Gotta buy candy. Okay. Maybe Justin versus Beneil. Oliveira versus Conor if he wants to come back. Sign me up. Fiziev Charles is a good one. That is very good. Yan was getting cracked way more than O'Malley. I 100% disagree with that. And the fact that you say he did 0 with the takedowns, I 100% disagree with that. Yan landed some good ground and pound with the takedowns. Go rewatch the fight. Just in the 3rd round alone in the last 30 seconds, I think Yan landed a decent 10 to 15 ground and pound strikes. I don't know where that fake narrative is coming from. Dana only wanted TJ, but agree to disagree. Dana only wanted TJ versus O'Malley, so now that Aljo won, they're making Henry versus him. He knows Aljo will just take Sean down and wrestle him. Yes, maybe. Charles gets flatlined by Fiziev. I agree. I'm very high on Fiziev, and I think he gets it done. I think I've given they stop 12 to 6 elbows, introduce the limits to reduce the efficiency of BJJ. They ought to make a rule holding folks against the cage and stalling, a.k.a. Kamaru. Kamaru doesn't do that. He beats guys up as well. We have to do Fiziev versus Oliveira. Winner gets to fight Islam. Do you agree? No. Maybe. I don't know. There's a million matchups. I'd like Oliveira versus Beneil. Fiziev versus Gaethje. Maybe the winners fight each other. And then in the meantime, Islam fights Volk. And then those winners, you know what I mean? Looks like Chandler, Justin, Dustin won't get any more title shots now that Khabib is in control of Islam's decisions. I hope they fight the new guys. I don't know if that's the case. Sugar wasn't landing much more. Yan landed more than people seem to give him credit for. Dude, there was multiple times Yan was just snapping Sean's head back. I don't know where those numbers come from, but there was times Yan was just playing pitter patter and just throwing like really light jabs as just like range finders. Dana and the UFC screw fighters because they want popular fighters to compete for titles. Okay. They're not paying the judges off. They're not doing that. Yan just took Oliveira's spot for me. My new top 3 favorite fighters are Chimaev, Yan, and Yuri. I'm kind of with you on that one. But Oliveira's still up in there. Thoughts on Oliveira saying Islam has a better day than him and some days he can beat Islam and wants an immediate rematch? I mean, he's not getting an immediate rematch. It's just not happening. It's not happening. Oliveira won the fight. Islam, again, Khabib hates rematches. Probably not. O'Malley took too much damage to the point he wants to renegotiate his contract. Didn't look fired up for a title fight. Yeah, who knows? O'Malley may never fight again. Max Holloway is my favorite fighter. If Volk can go to 55, Max can have a chance to get his belt back. Yes. Sugar is confident, arrogant. If he truly thought he won, he would have acted totally different. He knew he lost. Yeah, he 100% knew he lost. Joey, who was the fighter you thought highly of and they didn't end up rising to the top in contrast? Who's the guy you didn't think high of who did rise to the top? I don't know, man. I can't think straight right now. It's too late. Ask me another day. I heard Brian Ortega is begging Khabib to be his training coach. All right, that's interesting. Sean was thumping him. Watch again. I already watched the most important round again, and Sean landed like 2 big strikes the whole fight. He landed some other shots, but it was like 2 or 3 really big strikes that he landed. So I disagree. And meanwhile, Yan was just snapping his head back. Even after Yan got that massive cut, Yan hit him with like a 4-piece that had Sean rattled. My guess is they gave the win to O'Malley solely on significant strikes landed. Yeah, but those numbers are bullshit, and they don't have access to those numbers. Why does Usman get an immediate rematch after brutally losing to Leon Edwards? Because he won the majority of the fight. I like how Dariush technically beat Sarukian. No, they never fought. And if Oliveira beats Dariush, he's technically beat Gamrot. Okay, whatever. Whatever. Oliveira quit. T-tap too damn quick. Well, that's because Islam's got that nasty squeeze. You saying Sean O'Malley will never fight again was hilarious. Sean knew he lost. Smart fight for not calling for the champion. Yeah, I mean, O'Malley, say what you will about him, I don't think he's a dumb guy. I don't think he wants to take a lot of brain damage. I think he sees he can have success with streaming and selling merchandise and becoming a social media star. And it would not surprise me if Sean O'Malley one day, maybe not after this, but one day just decides I'm not fighting anymore. Because why would you? If you can make a decent amount of money doing anything else, why would you take brain damage? So, you can disagree, but I'm going to tell you right now, Sage Northcutt, okay, is the Anna Kournikova of the MMA. Usman gets a rematch because he was on a 15-fight win streak in UFC and dominant champ, and he won the majority of the fight before the stoppage. They saw significant strikes, maybe so. Sage in comparison is hilarious. Okay. What's next? Vera's just KO'd Piotr out cold. No, absolutely not. That will not happen. Bro, what the F? Why does YouTube keep randomly scrolling down on videos page when you leave a channel's page up when watching a video on mobile? I have not seen that, so I can't comment on that. I cannot comment on that. So I don't know. All right, guys, we're going to go for a little bit longer. If you haven't already liked the stream, I would greatly appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it right this very second. Guys, I want you to come up with 1 million questions right now, and I want you to fill the chat with 1 million UFC 280 questions immediately right now, and we're going to go through all those questions, and then we're probably going to be done for the night. This stream actually has almost 7,000 views. It's like a live ticker. Sometimes it's a little bit off after the fact. But it's almost to 7,000 views right now. So thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate you. Put questions in the chat, and we're going to go for another 15, 20 minutes. Okay. Oliveira was on a 12-fight win streak, which is much less than a 15-fight. So I don't make sense. Okay. How long is he going to reign as champ? I think Khabib is coach of the year in next 100. I think Islam's going to be the champion for quite a while. There's going to be I don't see anyone defeating him right now. Darren Till is done for. Yeah, I've never been high on Darren Till. If Sean O'Malley loses the title fight that Dana will give him, then I could see him retire. It's very, very possible. The sad part is if Sean chinning Aljo and becoming champion style makes fights. Okay. I mean, Aljo does have horrific striking. How many title defenses do you see in Islam? I'll say 5. I'll say 5 title defenses. I just wish Chimaev Covington would be made. I blame Dana for not contacting Colby. They could be working on it right now for all we know. But it is annoying. What was your reaction when Islam submitted Oliveira? Can we see somewhere? Yes, you can. It's on the channel. My UFC 280 watch along. It is on the channel. You can find it right now. Just look at the thumbnails and titles. Do you believe softer strikes and jabs that O'Malley used throughout the fight are even to the ground and pound shots he took? Absolutely not. Oliveira barely defended the belt. That's the difference between him and Usman. Okay, I mean, I wouldn't say barely defended the belt, but Usman and Oliveira are much different. And also, the way they lost the belt is much different. How do judges get it so wrong when almost everyone else scores it differently? Many fans score the fight. I don't know. I don't know what they were watching. I still think that's a robbery, and Costa won the last fight of their contract, so I think both test free agency. Only Rob would get out huge contract. I don't even know what you're saying there, my friend. I guess Oliveira knew he would lose. He should have known before listening to his interview during the lead up to the fight. He just didn't seem confident he would win. I mean, it's easy to say that now, but who knows? It's very easy to say that now. 5 straight finishes for Islam now. That is true. Could Charles beat Islam in a rematch? I mean, it's possible. I wouldn't pick him. I think Khabib is not Coach Islam. His name is Javier Mendez. Am I wrong? That is true. Do you think Alex will fight Islam for the title on the Australia card? Yes. Which result pissed you off tonight other than the end results? I hated that TJ Dillashaw came in with an injury. That fight was just a waste. It was a disappointing fight that literally did not matter because TJ came in injured. End of story. Islam could go on the longest win streak in a while, if not ever. We'll see how long does Islam Makhachev stick around. That's what I would like to know. I think Whitaker and Izzy are fated to meet again. Maybe so. Maybe so. Would have been more interesting if he was still champion. Rematch in Brazil, guaranteed SMH. Yeah, but I mean, he got dominated for the most part. He had some moments, but the fight doesn't dictate a rematch in this case. Why is Conor tweeting about having tools to counter Islam style? Dude, Conor just wants attention. Conor just wants attention. It says 143 viewers on my screen. Yeah, we've done good tonight. We've done good. It says 154 viewers on my screen right now. If you guys haven't already, like the stream, share the stream, like the stream, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. I feel Rob's going to beat Izzy if they meet again. Maybe so. I picked Oliveira like you, Joey. I was wrong big time. It wasn't close. 100%. Yeah. 100%. Joey, whose stock rose and fell the most after UFC 280? Probably Islam's and Charles, honestly. I think Islam's stock just shot through the roof. A lot of people are going to doubt. I mean, nobody respected Charles as it was, so I think his stock dropped even lower. But I also think O'Malley's stock has gone up because of the low expectations and overachievement. I really wish TJ pulled out and waited out. Can't believe we really thought we were going to get a good fight. I know he screwed us all over. Yeah, TJ came in injured, so it's not a legit win. It's like beating up a handicap grocery store cashier in the express lane. Couldn't have said it better myself. Who wins, Gaethje or Conor? I would take Gaethje, but Conor could pull it off. TJ should have pulled out and had Marlon fight for the belt. Agreed. DC understands Khabib's agenda with pound for pound and hyping that fight so much, praising Volk to get that fight. Love how DC is always biased. I mean, I'm sure there's some ulterior motives there. Did you know Khabib has won the old UFC belt and new UFC belt? Who else has done that? Johnny Bones Jones has done it. If Conor can last 3 rounds against Khabib, how many rounds does he last against Islam? It's a different Conor nowadays. So I think Islam finishes Conor in 2 rounds. What happens if Islam wins? What happens if Izzy wins because there's no one else apart from Khamzat? Maybe. We're going to be in a weird scenario. We're going to be a very weird scenario. 100 likes? Yes, 100 likes on the stream, apparently. Thank you guys for liking the stream. If Volk moves to 145 perma, does Max become champ again? Yes. Imagine Charles turns into Robert Whitaker of the lightweight division after this fight. That would suck. Yeah, that TJ fight was crazy. Why come in with a major injury? It's super annoying. It's actually super annoying. Who wins between Islam and Gilbert Burns, in your opinion? I don't know. It's 50-50. Because Gilbert Burns is not particularly huge. UFC 280 in the night in India, Pakistan World Cup match the next day. My weekend set. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you for supporting the channel as well. Islam and Conor could still be the biggest fight if they give it. Yeah, I would. I mean, honestly, Islam Conor is a huge fight. Is a massive fight, honestly. By the way, 66% say Petr Yan got robbed. So we can end that poll. 66% of you guys agree that Petr Yan got robbed. Someone please fight Fiziev. I want Justin Gaethje versus Rafael Fiziev. That is the fight to make. Nobody in lightweight has the style to beat Islam. I agree. He's going to be a long reigning champion. Would Habib be mad pressed during the Conor versus Islam lead up? Probably. Probably. They would have high security. Max still being able to be in big fights is insane. For him to be still a big draw is crazy. Yeah. Time will come to an end at some point, but it's not here yet. TJ said sorry for holding up the division knowing he was going to be injured, but decided to do it anyways. What a waste of time. Yeah, for sure. What is next for Yan? I say Merab Dvalishvili. This Conor coked up in Hollywood lifestyle now. Haha, Conor back then was legit, but now 1% chance to beat Islam. Yeah. I think Conor had a better chance of beating Habib back in the day than today's Conor would have of beating Islam. Was it just me or did Charles look off tonight? I mean, I just think Islam looked good, and I think Islam clipped him quite a few times. And I don't know what was Charles doing. Like, he was initiating the grappling. It was kind of weird. Masvidal was a big draw, and it cooled off when he got whooped. Mac get whooped, and he'll always be a big draw. If he gets whooped a couple more times, I don't know if that's the case. I actually really like Dillashaw up until he pulled this stunt. Okay. If Dustin beats Chandler, can we possibly see Chandler versus Charles too? That's a fight that I suggested earlier in the stream. So, yes. Did you see Close pulled out of his fight? I was hyped for that one. How do you like Dawson Madsen? I actually like Dawson Madsen better, to be quite honest. Islam Conor would do huge numbers. Yes, it would. Dana's probably already thinking that in his head. Yeah, have Conor fight Gaethje, and if he wins, put him against Islam or Jorge. Fair enough. That's the thing. Islam Conor's a massive fight with the backstory, so I'm okay with it. I just really don't like the Volk Islam fight. Do you? I mean, I like it kind of, but I don't think he has a good chance. Bobby Green has like a 6-month suspension. I somehow feel Izzy constantly downplays Rob whenever he fights. Is super disrespectful. Do you agree? I haven't paid attention, so I don't know. Oliveira versus Conor, give him his money fight. Sign me up for that one too. I don't think Gaethje wants to be the checkpoint for lightweight up-and-comers. Well, that's his problem. Then go find another job. I love that Khamzat was afraid Burns' ground game and Islam finished Oliveira. Okay. I would be shocked if O'Malley upset Aljo. I think it's the worst style matchup for him in the Bantamweight division. He probably got to hit Masvidal. Trick move. Yeah, probably. Any fight of Conor's does big fights is a mystery at this point how people still think he will win. Mostly casuals. Give me Aljo versus Cejudo. I'm in. Don't think Yan got robbed. Solid 10-8 scorecard last round. 10-8 scorecard, lol. Okay. Islam striking is better than Habib. But Habib's ground and pound was better. Islam's better with subs. Now, I think they're just vastly different. It's hard to compare. You need to make a video of Justin Gaethje's Poirier and Chandler to stop avoiding the rest of the division. Yeah, maybe. You need to make a... Okay, read that. It's obviously Islam took way too more time planning his game plan compared to Oliveira, who didn't think his game plan and panicked. Okay. Sugar doesn't get a 10-8 at all in the last round. Yeah. No way, shape, or form does Sugar get a 10-8. Hey, Joey, hope you're having a good night. Thank you, Hawk Lungs, and thank you for becoming a member. I greatly appreciate you. Thank you for the support. So technically, would Islam have a better win than Habib ever had? Now, do we say 2018 Conor is to 2022 Charles? So technically, would Islam have a better win than Habib ever had? Now, I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't think so. It's hard to compare everything. Given that Conor has metamorphs into whipping boy of the division, why is he still such a big draw? People think he's edgy. That's basically it. Habib fans will start spamming that if Sambo's easy, it would be called jiu-jitsu, quote, is annoying. Agreed. Apparently, Islam spent close to $1 million on his fight camp. That is crazy. I don't even know what he spent it on. Is there a reason you won't read my questions, bro? I've read pretty much every question. I'm not skipping anything particular, so I don't know what you're talking about. I think you're imagining. I think you might be a little bit drunk, Shane. If Oliveira beats Poirier, Gaethje, and Chandler within 2 rounds, then gets beat by Islam in 2 rounds, he got his karma? Okay. Gamrot was disappointing. Really thought he was going to beat Beneil. Yeah, Gamrot is just, his hands are terrible. Mac Masvidal still the fight to make, honestly. I agree. I'm with it. Dariush versus the winner of Poirier Chandler winner for #1 contender, or should Benny fight sooner to stay active? I say Dariush versus Oliveira. Judges were registered under the Sugar State Athletic Commission. Yeah, that sounds about right. Colby needs to get down to 155 and fight Islam. Never going to happen. You really ready? All questions respect like this channel if you have not. After Costa and Whitaker fight, will they both be free agents? Do you think one in PFL will cough up big money to steal the winner of the potential even both regardless of outcome? I doubt it. I doubt it. I think the UFC will probably re-sign him. Heard Gamrot and hand broke in the first round. Could be possible. Could be possible. But it's hard. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, his striking looked awful. Ooh, let me sit up. Guys, we have hit the 2-hour mark. We have hit the 2-hour mark. I might not actually be able to do videos tomorrow. I think you guys have destroyed my throat. Pause, which I've said multiple times. Belal versus Oliveira needs to happen. They're not even in the same division. I really hope they don't give Poirier a title shot. Oh, God, no. Please, no. I think Oliveira has gained like almost 1 million followers in the past week. His last post has over 800K. That's pretty cool. Belal would maul Oliveira. They're in 2 different divisions. How much do you think Costa would get from free agent negotiated? He is at like 200K right now. It's impossible to say. It really is. I don't know what the PFL will be willing to pay, but definitely more than 200K. Haha, Joey, you rock. Appreciate you, Benji. Oliveira, best path to getting quick title shots is beating Dariush or Fiziev. Or Oliveira. I still think the UFC won't give him a title shot anytime soon. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. What was your prediction on how long Poirier was going to hold his title for? I predicted him to lose against Khabib, so none. The privilege is real. Charles had to do a lot to get that first title shot. Sorry for destroying your throat. I'll go easier next time. It actually hurts. Maybe not 10-8 smack. Okay. Which result excited you the most tonight? Probably Beneil Dariush, to be quite honest. This is the new wave of young talent with Fiziev, Gamrot, Dariush, Islam, Chimaev, Shavkat, Sarukian, Dustin, Justin, Connor, Jorge, Tony, Diaz, all part of the old men crew. I want to see Charles against either Dariush or the winner of Poirier Chandler. I would love to see a Chandler rematch. Aldo versus Conor in Brazil is the main event. Apparently Conor still needs to get in the testing pool. Apparently he's removed himself from the testing pool. Let me see how much streaming I did today. This is straight up outlandish. So we did 2 hours right now. We did 2 hours right now. We did 4 hours earlier, 5 hours earlier. We did 5 hours last night. So 10 hours right there, including last night. And then we basically did 12 hours of streaming in the last 24 hours. All for you guys. All for you guys. Hopefully UFC 281 makes up for this card. I don't think this card was god-awful, but it was a little bit disappointing. I will say that. Aldo vs. Conor, Brazil event, Davison Moreno. Yeah, it's not going to happen. Islam can get rounds on Khabib and sparring. Yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily believing you. It's just believing the hype. Maybe Izzy will just leg kick at range for 5 rounds. It's very possible. TJ got beat by Karma. You're addicted to streaming. Nah. I'm addicted to growing the channel, my friend. I'm addicted to growing the channel. So, here I am. Subscribe. If you're watching right now and you're not subscribed, what are you doing? What are you doing? If you liked watching right now, why wouldn't you like to watch in the future some more? I honestly am just, I'm on the path. I'm on the path to get 10,000 by the end of the year. I'm getting close. I'm creeping towards that 6,000 mark. I'm gonna hit that 6,000 mark probably before. I'm gonna say hopefully before the end of the month. Bare minimum first week of next month. I'm gonna hit that 6,000 mark. We're getting close. So, then boom. I need 4,000 subscribers in 2 months. It's crazy that it's almost November. I don't know how that's physically possible. Charles said he wants to fight soon, so I think he'll probably try and get on that Brazil card, hopefully. I just put more emphasis on my third round, the first 2 rounds of O'Malley fight. Okay. These top few guys in lightweight have formed this club where they protect each other's rankings and egos. Yeah, maybe they got a union together. If Conor come back to the UFC, gonna book him with some old bum he could smash. Yeah, most likely. Joey, did Muhammad Makhachev disappoint you? Yes. He still won, but, I mean, we got to pump the brakes on him for sure. If you want to secure, yeah, if they book Conor versus Tony, I'm going to throw up, to be honest. Would you expect less O'Malley to beat Petr Yan or Leon Edwards to beat Usman? O'Malley to beat Yan, which he did not. He did not beat Yan, regardless of what anyone says. Joey, does Islam utilize his judo the best in MMA? Those trips or throws are absolutely beautiful to watch. O'Malley, the back foot bitch, robbed my man Petr Yan. I agree. I believe Islam has more fans than people. Most of them come from third world country. Imagine they booked Tony McGregor to give Mac a win and washed up Tony beats Mac. Would be a real low. Oh my God, that'd be hilarious. Who wins, O'Malley or Sterling? I would go with Aljamain Sterling to win. Nothing got me more jacked when you started swearing at Dana and everyone right after the robbery a century earlier. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Did you watch most of the stream? Were you there for most of the stream? All the stream? What was it? Do you think Tuivasa takes Pavlovich is a mistake for Tuivasa? Yeah, especially so soon after the loss to Cyril Gane. I do think it's a mistake. May he come out on top? He may come out on top. But that doesn't change the fact I don't think it's a great decision. 100% honesty in a neutral location like Vegas. Would Islam win with the same second round sub? What does that have to do with anything? Yes. Islam can't make 45. Who said Islam's going to 45? Did somebody say that? Did somebody suggest that? Hate to break it to you, but Conor McGregor will start Tony Ferguson. Agreed. I saw your stream that Yan versus O'Malley reaction was legendary. That's the point of those streams. I hope you guys are enjoying those reactions. So I'm glad I did it. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. I'm probably not doing a stream for the next pay-per-view. I'm just gonna relax for the next pay-per-view. Okay? I haven't done it I've streamed the last like 2 pay-per-views. 3 pay-per-views. I never streamed a pay-per-view before. I streamed the last 3. I'm gonna take off for the next one. Me and my friend were speechless when we heard the split decision. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. I could not believe it. No pay-per-view announced during 280, kind of lame. Maybe Conor versus Hooker, so at least Hooker will have a chance. At least Hooker will have a chance. Yeah, I'm sure Conor's beaten up his fair share of hookers in the time off, too. So at least, you know, it would be a fight that he's already had. Tony getting a title shot at this point would be beyond impossible. Yeah, he's never fighting for a title. They're probably going to announce a pay-per-view during 281. Everyone says that every pay-per-view. Oh, they're going to announce this. They're going to announce that. Take a damn week off, son. You've been grinding nonstop. I'm trying to grow the channel, my friend. But yeah, I'm probably not doing nothing tomorrow. And then boom, Monday, I got to get right back on. I got to get a main event prediction for next week. I got to start on things I hate for 281. I got to do things I love for 281 if I can even find them. I got to start, you know, what's next for Oliveira? What's next for Islam? What's next for O'Malley? What's next for Yan? Was Yan robbed? I got a million video ideas. I may not make them all, but we'll see. We will see what I can get to. Do you think Prohaska versus Teixeira will end up being main event of 282? Yes. What were you most excited for tonight and most disappointed? Your fan and have opinions. Would love to know. What was I most excited for? Islam versus Oliveira tonight. What was I most disappointed in? TJ Dillashaw. TJ Dillashaw coming in with an injury was super annoying. Habib told DC that Islam would want to go for Volk's belt, which is why I said he would go to 45. Yeah, I don't think he's making 45 ever. Bro, what woman fight did they make for November 5th? You went off on that. It's not a bad fight, but it doesn't belong as a main event. It was Amanda Lemos versus Marina Rodriguez. I get hard when a new pay-per-view gets announced. I'm glad you're enjoying that. We did Islam say he will go for Volk's belt. I did not see this. Somebody else is saying that. I'm not saying that. Beating his fair share of hookers was hilarious. Yeah, I'm sure he has. Are you planning on growing this channel to get a full-time income from it? I would love to. That would be a goal of mine. Yeah. Joe, you feel like Yan fight showed how much better O'Malley was than we thought, or Yan is not as dominant as we thought? I think what it showed was we had low expectations for O'Malley, and he surpassed those expectations. But I think Yan beat the shit out of O'Malley and won 95% of the fight. So take that for what you will. I still think Yan's the best 135er in the world. I just think O'Malley has now proven that he at least belongs in the top 10. That's as far as I'll go with that. How can O'Malley ever become a legit superstar when the judges clearly had the fight rigged? It was a disturbing decision. I agree. Yeah, Yan is still the champ in my mind. Yan is still the champ in my mind. So, you know, I don't know what to say other than that. I thought he beat Sterling in the last fight. The illegal knee screwed him. What a butterfly effect from that illegal knee. What a butterfly effect from that illegal knee. It changed the trajectory of Petr Yan's career. And now he's 1-3. He's 1-3 in his last 4 fights. And, you know, you look at him, he should be 4-0. He should be 4-0. I mean, I know the one Sterling fight was super debatable, but I think Yan won that fight. So it is what it is. It's disappointing. Hopefully, Yan bounces back. I mean, people forget Yan is fighting absolute killers. Absolute killers. So we'll see who he fights in his next fight. Imagine if Yan never makes it back to the top. That'd be crazy. DC is terrible. During the first fight of the card, he started talking about NFL. Anik shut him down. Yeah, I didn't have commentary for the first few minutes of the card, and I was so happy. Most people don't like women's MMA. What's weird is I think Weili Zhang Joanna is the greatest fight ever, in my opinion. That's one of my favorite fights of all time. All the sugar merch in the building, fans with wigs and shirts, judges knew the vibes. Yeah. Sterling keeping Zhang's belt warm. DC's a legend. He's hilarious, even if he's a little bit biased. Grossly misspelling the word bias, but okay. You can run, but you can't hide. Islam Makhachev and New. Yan is the greatest fighter, greatest losing fighter of all time. Yeah. Yan is the nasty, mean fighter and template to emulate. Yeah. It's honestly crazy how much Yan is getting robbed in his career, in my opinion. Maybe you say you can leave it to the judges, but still doesn't seem it should be this way. Yeah, it's unfortunate. All right, couple more questions, guys, and then I'm getting out of here. Yan is the definition of don't leave it to the judges. I think the UFC should give Yan a layup like they did with Holland, knowing they probably won't. Commentary letting me down more and more every card. I wish there was an option to turn off the UFC commentary. Time for Triple C to come back and clean this whole thing out. Imagine Suda comes back, beats all the top guys back to back to back. It would elevate him even more. Sign me up for that. Sign me up for that. Would love it. Yan is the definite. Okay, Reddit. All right, last 2 questions, guys. Last 2 questions, and then I'm out of here. Before you go, like the stream, subscribe to the channel. Any more questions? This is it. I don't think we should worry about Yan. He's too skilled and too young to keep up with this unfortunate streak. It's not like he's ever taken much damage. Agreed. He didn't take much damage in this fight either. Did you see the DC interview of Islam? It was hilarious. Islam said, "Don't understand who gave Poirier black belt." That was funny and hilarious. No, that is not a sandwich. Great to see Khabib embrace Renzo Gracie. All right, I did not see that. If O'Malley beats Chito Vera, what's next for him after that fight? He would have to fight for the bantamweight title. There would really be no other option after that. He would have earned his title shot. Just do Chimaev versus Bilal. I don't care anymore. That's what we were talking about earlier. All right, guys, I'm getting out of here. Like the stream, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate every single one of you guys for joining me tonight. And I'll talk to you guys later. Good night, and enjoy the rest of your night. Go watch the other streams on the channel, the UFC 280 post-fight, UFC 280 live reaction, watch along. You can watch that. They're both on the channel. And I think that's it. Appreciate you guys. Good night.